and the doctor said don't put cheese on it for another week.
Really, a whole week?
Yeah, so I'm going to be going cheeseless. And
I couldn't imagine not putting cheese all over my feet every morning.
It's a good cleansing product.
Anyway, we just wanted to start, and it just comes to a stupid conversation. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. Are you okay?
That fucking hurts. Ooh. Okay, yeah, no, we're taking these guys. It's in my hair.
Oh my lord!
I forgot. There's like clamps on these things.
I swear, you are like the master at hurting yourself. And I give you the access to everything you need to do
I am Ragdoll Brady.
We're doing a 24 frames podcast just because we were filming Garandacore and I left it on that. So we're going to look a little more cinematic right now. Let's get the black bars at the top and bottom. Probably won't. No, let's not keep those there. But hey, I got a blue gel. That's battery powered, so that's just going to turn off like halfway through. I couldn't find the other cord. Yeah, we got a good lighting setup now. It's so much easier to just... Because I always had my key light permanently affixed in the corner of my room, and then I would have to like get out another light stand and put it right there every time I wanted to film, whether it's a podcast or episode of Nitro Rad. But now I got that one wedged in behind my TV, up permanently affixed in there, and now there's two lights. So it's just like click clack, and then we just have this lighting setup, and then just one extra one there. So really happy with lighting setup I've been doing lately. Yeah, I actually had someone on Twitter ask me what I do for my lighting, because for Equinite Beyond, I had really nice, like, kind of like a somber blue kind of moody lighting, because it's a very sad game. It's also on the moon in space. I want to have kind of like that blue glow that you kind of see. I don't know if the game's cover right now.
Oh, I've seen it plenty of times. Yeah, so I was like, what is this?
Exactly, yeah. The game's cover kind of has that vibe, too. Yeah. I'm kind of, like, teared up in the thumbnail, because, again, very emotional plot, so I wanted to reflect that. If you're on Patreon, which you are if you're watching this, that means you have probably already seen the video. I'll probably have it out, like, publicly for everyone by the time this podcast goes up. But, you know, the election's a big, big thing right now. You know, when the winner gets announced, that's going to be everywhere. And I kind of I don't want to get the video buried under all the election coverage. So I'm just going to wait till that kind of passes over. And then the day after, they announce the winner, I'll just put it up. Yeah. I worked really hard on that video. It took me a long time.
On Twitter, I've seen you make posts. I think you postponed it, like, what, twice?
Yeah, because the first time I was like, okay, I'm not going to hit the October deadline because it's just impossible at this point. There's so much work to do, and I just don't have the time to... Like, I literally... for a long time, I was getting Nitro Rad videos out really frequently, but it's because I didn't really do much else. But, like, I'm at a point where I'm realizing I kind of need social interaction to, like, live a healthy, happy life, and I just wasn't getting that for so long. Especially after kind of, like, breaking up with my ex in, like, 2017. That's kind of my way of dealing with, like, I'm just Nitro Rad all the time, and that kind of kept me occupied. But now that I'm, like, you know, having another relationship and just kind of trying to hang out with my friends more often, I just kind of have to do that, because I need to be an adult. I need to
social life is also important, because when you just work, you are dragged down. And it's...
Yeah, and it's also kind of evens out, like, financial-wise, because more people are watching, so I'm able to make the same amount with a little bit fewer videos, like 1 or 2 videos a month, instead of the 3 videos a month like I used to be doing. And also, the other thing is, now that I take it slower, I find I can put more work into it. I can take, like, those little details. I put up a little thing, I don't know if some people might have watched it just on Patreon, just me thinking a lot about the rhythm of the music, going with, like, the way I talk. I've been thinking more about that stuff, and I don't know, I don't really care about putting a whole lot. I'd rather put out, like, fewer, like, more polished videos. Like, you see a lot of other channels. Like, honestly, my favorite channels are the ones that upload, like, 4 times a year, but they're always long, good videos. Like, Breadsword, our friend Jace. Yeah. He doesn't upload often, but when he does, it's long, it's polished, it's well-researched, and I kind of like that. But yeah, you know, been doing well. Yeah. Finally have this thing done. It's up for Patreon. I'm going to get that out soon. God, Equinite has been such a cool series to review. Yeah. Even if Beyond, like, really wasn't good, like, the story was so well done, and you can really tell where FromSoft kind of had a lot of their original budding philosophies and ideas for how they kind of tackle stories and lore, and just more so building their worlds. Because I know you haven't really played much FromSoft stuff, but, you know, what everyone loves about Dark Souls and Bloodborne is the world feels so believable. You can kind of, like... The whole thing with Bloodborne is it kind of tricks you into thinking it's kind of like Halloween-y horror, like werewolves and vampires, but then you start seeing, like, weird aliens. And then you go into the church, and the statues are those weird aliens. As if, well, what if those aliens came here a long time ago and these people worship them like gods? Yeah. And then later, as you get further, you start fighting those characters, and it's just such a good build-up to it.
And what was it? You even showed me that one final boss.
Yeah,
because of a dream I had,
Orphan of Kos,
and you're like, you literally had the Bloodborne Orphan of Kos, and I was like,
it's the boss of the DLC, Orphan of Kos, when he's on the shore and crawls out of the carcass of Kos, which is like the god that was worshipped, or the Great One, or whatever. There's a lot of lore there. It's really interesting. I never thought I'd care about like lore in games and stuff, but it's not until I was like replaying Bloodborne the third time I was paying more attention to the environment and making the connections, and it's really cool. Yeah, I really like that.
I gotta really sit down and play that. There's a lot of games I really want to play, but I just don't got the time to.
Yeah, same.
Because I don't want to dedicate like 15 minutes to me doing this and then going off to work. Or just like I want to sit down for like a good day by myself and just play the game.
I really miss when we were teenagers and like young adults and we had like all the free time. Just remember when Metal Gear 5 came out? That's all we did.
Dude,
that's all, like,
for 30 days that's all I did.
Yeah.
And like you would see me up at like 6 a.m. and then like from 7 to like maybe 9 was like my sleep.
Yeah.
And then I was right back at it.
I remember if I was ever up late, particularly late, because I think that's when I was in college. So if it was like up like super late, getting home super late from a film project at like 3 a.m. or something, I'd go on PlayStation just to see what's on. It was always Brandon. It was always Brandon because he was in a different time zone, and you, who was like up to like 5 every morning.
God dang. Man, I think I like this facial hair better than. I think this is me. This is really short. Like all I did like the other day, I was like, I feel like garbage. Yeah. So I'm going to make myself feel better physically. So I went and did this, and I like this.
Yeah.
I
like cleaning yourself up every now
because like my beard was like, and I was just like, quarantine, fuck it.
I haven't shaved in a bit. You can see my mustache starting to come through. Yeah. I grow the grossest mustache.
Well, dude, it takes time for it to feel like this. Was never like this. This used to be just like here and like there. Like I had like a half Eddie Murphy like mustache, like so far apart.
Yours looks good though. It fully connects. Yeah. Mine never fully connects. It kind of stops right there, and I don't grow much there. It's also like blonde and orange, and it just looks bad. I might try to grow it out this month. It's November. I might do no shave November. Depends on how I like. I always think I'm going to, and I'm like maybe I'll try growing. I tried growing it out a little bit. When I did the Frogger Helmet Chaos video. You see I got a bit of my mustache. And I was like, maybe, and then I just get to a point, I wake up, I look in the mirror in the bathroom, like, no, just get, fuck, what am I doing?
Like, I've done that plenty of times before where it's like, I'm going to grow out my beard, and hopefully I'll have it ready for Snake. And then I'm like, I'm itchy. And I'm going to shave it off.
And just don't feel good. I like having a bit here. I kind of trim this and keep this the same length as much as I can. Sometimes I'll shave clean, but this stuff, I just keep that gone because it looks terrible on me. I got like if Leonardo DiCaprio's mustache was like really really bad is kind of what I go.
Sooner or later you'll grow the full thing. You'll just like
exactly. So I played a lot of video games this month. Yeah. You played many video games lately?
Honestly, I've been on almost like a hiatus of video games. Like if I've only played a video game, it was probably a little bit of Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time, and I absolutely love that.
Yeah. Let's talk about that because I've actually been playing Crash Bandicoot 4. Because, confession, I never cared about Crash at all. You were a big Crash guy.
I grew up Crash.
And I never grew up with Crash as a kid. I grew up with just Nintendo. I didn't get into PlayStation until I was a teenager when I got into Metal Gear. Metal Gear is what made me buy a PS2 used on Kijiji. Getting into those old games.
See, with me, I grew up because my brother traded our N64 for a PS1.
Yeah.
And so we needed something. We needed something that would lean to my demographic, right?
Yeah.
And really, at the time, it was Crash Bandicoot, and I was like, well, I like Donkey Kong Country. It's an animal character.
Yeah.
It's a platformer, but 3D, and it's just the music. The atmosphere. I was all in love with it, right?
Yeah, apparently, some people kind of consider Crash Bandicoot kind of like a 3D version of the side-scrolling Donkey Kongs.
Yeah.
And when somebody mentioned that, I kind of like, I got it a little bit more because like Crash never made much sense to me when I was younger. I'm not saying this now, but when I was younger, I'd look at it at a glance. It would just, you kind of go straight. I don't really get that when at the time I like exploring big worlds. I don't want to. I went straight in side scrollers. Let's do something. We got the new 3D. So like at the time, it didn't really click with me. Where the same way where I saw Spyro on PlayStation and I could walk around a world, and I remember playing it like Zellers on display. Way back, and I remember that made sense to me. I thought Spyro was cool, and I ended up getting one of the Spyro games on GameCube when I was a little older, maybe 2 years from then. So I always I kind of liked Spyro, but I never really got Crash. I do kind of now. To me, I kind of get that Crash is it's the point of it is it's about executing like complex inputs and getting the result you want. It's like Meat Boy or Celeste. You go at it over and over and over, trying to get, I did it, and that's it. And then Crash's very simple hallway-like design creates that kind of levels. But no, I kind of get it now. I feel like I don't like Crash 1 that much. I beat it.
Oh no, no one really likes Crash 1.
It's 2 and 3 people like.
It's 2 and 3, which are the ones that hit hard, and that's like the I guess the epitome of what Crash is. Is that the right word? The epitome of it? Yeah. So it's with 1, it was like a great introduction with a lot of bugginess, like
the clunkiness. That
Road
bridge
to
level.
Nowhere.
Is that the bridge level?
Yeah,
that's one of the worst platforming levels I've ever played. And you've seen me play like Vex and Scalar and Kaya Dark Lineage.
Yeah.
You know, I play these games.
How far are you in Crash now?
I'm not terribly far. I've been playing it in my free time between working on Echo Knight and playing some other stuff. I'm not super duper far, but I'm like a world after. Is it like the old Japanesey world?
Oh, like the feudal Japan. Like
that's
like
where I stopped.
Samurai-esque.
That's where I left off.
Yeah, that's
not super far.
Yeah, it's not too super far. I was in the Snow World.
Yeah,
and they have some nice little nods to the previous games.
Oh yeah,
I noticed that they sprinkle that around, and I'm like, yes, this actually fits into the Crash universe, and this is the Crash game we needed.
That's Toys for Bob seems really, really good at respecting the original intended, art or artistic design or whatever, while kind of just boom, we're gonna make it vibrant and amazing looking. Some of their artists is incredible. They gotta have some of the best artists at at least under the whole Activision.
Yeah, Toys for Bob is fantastic. I love the designs of the characters. It's like a new revamp with a hint of what they originally were, right? And then with the Insane trilogy, it was a nice gloss up from what it looked like on the PS1, and it was modernized, right? But this has its own character and energy, and I love that.
Yeah, I feel like if the remastered trilogy used a cartoony art style like this, might have been a little better, honestly. Because looking back at the Insane trilogy, it looked good before we saw Crash 4, and now it just kind of looks weirdly realistic-ish kind of.
You know that realistic face of Mario, like the Mario head.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Kind of like that, a little junior.
Yeah, they can pull it off because it's a cartoon animal character a little better. At if it was Mario, that would look terrifying.
Vivid or
it's not vibrant. It doesn't pop. Doesn't have that energy. Yeah. The animation is incredibly good too.
Yeah.
But no, the moment I got to a certain moment in Crash 4 where I just went, okay, I like this a lot now. It's when I got the first mask, the one that's voiced by Invader Zim. Squirrel Boy's voice
Lonnie
actor.
Lowly.
Him. And I start playing, and then suddenly the R2 button flips. It was like a Mario Galaxy level, except I control it. Which means suddenly there's another input I have to worry about, and suddenly I'm jumping and flipping a thing, and then falling through and flipping it again, and then it's boop, 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 and then it's just suddenly it's going from me going straight to I just did a complex input and skillfully executed a jump, and it felt really cool.
You said you're in the samurai
feudal Japan.
Japan
I beat Embryo.
Okay,
potion
so
guy?
So you beat the boss of that world. So then you did do the level where you have Lonnie Lowly, and you have to do the jumps, and then there's the moving blocks, and then there's the box you have to hit. Yeah. But somehow you're gonna have to phase through the wall before you press the button.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's I'm like, I can't. There's so much.
That shit is what my stupid gamer bionicle brain that understands physical shit and interactive that's the kind of stuff I love. That's why I love the 3D Marios. And I love Celeste and Meat Boy. And now now it just kind of, I feel like I make sense of it as like, this feels like 3D Celeste. It feels like 3D Meat Boy. Yeah. Not in the way that like the characters move similarly at all, but in that it's like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm checkpointed frequently. Also, I love that they kind of have the option for no lives, because I think...
That is fantastic.
I think restarting at a checkpoint over and over until you get it, I like that about Meat Boy, I like that about Celeste, and I think that made Crash 4 work for me.
Even in like games like Mario Odyssey nowadays, like you don't have lives.
Yeah, because it is kind of an outdated... I mean, it's an argument you can have, but...
The penalty is like, oh, you lost your coins. Okay, shame on you.
Makes sense.
While this one is like, hey, if you die, you can't get the perfect relic.
Exactly.
But if you learn, you can do better next time.
So it's like, it is the ultimate balance of like retro difficulty and modern difficulty, where you still have a big incentive to finish a level without dying.
Yeah.
Or you can do it completely old school and be like, okay, maybe that I'm pretty good at this game, let's flip the switch, do it again, see if I can do it with like lives. And I think that is like, when you give the player that much control over how difficult the game is, without it just being difficulty settings, like hard, normal, easy, where they're just like changing numbers and how much damage you do, this and that, that's kind of like, no, I think this is a much, much better way of handling difficulty that gives the player a lot more control. I think Crash 4 is fantastic. I think I'm probably going to review it. Give me an excuse to play through the whole thing, because I really want to finish it. And I think I should get you on for that review, because you grew up with Crash. I should get Kevin in it too, because he loves Crash.
Speaking of Kevin, I feel so bad that I can't talk to him as much about it as I want to, because like I'm taking my time with it, and he's already beat it twice. He's 100%ed it twice.
Or 100%, whatever it is. Yeah.
Like, he's fully completed it. Go on to what you were saying.
I thought you were reaching really close.
No. I got my...
I think if that video starts, and the thing is, like, Crash is, like, the only platformer other than Jak and Daxter I either never really played or never really cared that much about. And Jak I just never played, but Crash is the case where I never cared about him at all.
Yeah.
And, I think having that perspective kind of would make the video a little more unique than other people, because I know like Ant Dude and some Call Me John did videos about it, but they like Crash, they get Crash. I kind of don't, and this game was what made me get Crash, I guess. And I think starting the video being like, all right, I got a confession. I never really cared about Crash Bandicoot, and I don't really like Crash. And then you just come in the door and grab me, then it goes to like intense like lighting, and it's like, and I just turn on like, yeah, I know, crazy, right? Like I'm the platformer guy, and yada yada yada. And then we go from there. You have your bit, how you like it, why I don't. You can bring up that maybe, I like Donkey Kong. And then point at a Donkey Kong shirt you're wearing and be like, kind of felt like a 3D version of that. And then we'll go to the review where I'm just talking. And it'll be kind of like Whiplash, or when it cuts back to the on-screen segments, it'll be both of us talking. And then you can have your like little interjections or whatever that we'll kind of figure out. And then like for the main review, it'll be just me talking kind of. And I think that would be a good way of going about it, where you can kind of like... Because if I just go into it being like, I don't like Crash,
people will
react.
lose.
People will react negatively to that, because unfortunately, as
if you don't like something someone else likes, you turn out to be a bad guy.
As mature as I try to handle these things, like I don't think there's anything wrong with disliking a game. I don't think there's anything wrong with liking a game. I like to view them as a medium that I find interesting, so let's figure this thing out. But a lot of people are very passionate about it, and if they hear that the YouTube man that reviews platformers doesn't like Crash, it's like, what the fuck, you know? And people might kind of get a little angry about that, so I think that would be the way of handling it.
Yeah, because like I remember when you streamed the Insane Trilogy.
People got so mad at me.
People got so mad.
I just wasn't really having fun.
I was like, this is really his first time like playing through the games.
Everyone's trying to backseat game.
Everyone's like, yo, you need to do the slide crouch and like you need to.
I've never played this before. I don't know any of this.
And I'm like, that's stuff that comes later. Like when I first played Crash 2 and 3, I didn't really know about the slide mechanic when it came to slide jump, double jump, and like. With that, I was like, okay, I learned that a little bit later down the road, and that helps. It's like, it's not a mandatory thing, but it's a helpful thing.
Exactly. And I feel like Crash 4 kind of introduces those more advanced mechanics, and by more advanced, I just mean more advanced than just the jump button.
Yeah.
Pretty early on, like when you find out you can slide and jump and slide, and that does a high jump, and also, I think Crash Bandicoot 4 has the only good double jump. I've brought up double jumps in videos before. I don't like double jumps because they just feel like it inherently makes the game easier.
Yeah, 1 or 3 has a very jump. Yeah. And 4 is like very
great
well
because the double jump, it slows your forward momentum. So there's a trade-off. You can recalibrate and cancel your downward momentum and get another chance to, like, if you miss a platform, but at the cost of you lose your speed.
Yeah.
And now it makes sense. Now there's a trade-off. Now it's not just the ultimate move that achieves every jump, that fixes every jump, that does every jump, so you don't have to use any of your other jumps. Like, Poi is a big example. Poi, the indie game, I love Poi. It's visually beautiful. It's a really cool and cute game. But my biggest problem with Poi is they have the Mario 64 moveset, the double jump, triple jump, the dive, all this stuff, but you're not going to use any of that because they also have a double jump. Yeah. And the double jump objectively trumps all of those other moves, so there's no reason to use any of them.
Yeah,
and,
so like...
Yeah, you know...
There should be, like, if in a game, there should be a trade-off where it's like, you either have these moves...
Yeah.
Or you have a double jump.
Yeah. You shouldn't... Like, I just think you shouldn't have one ultimate move that solves every platform. Yeah. Because the moment you can just jump again in midair and change your momentum entirely and completely control where you land, that removes a lot of potential for trying to execute more advanced maneuvers, like the long jump.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Mario Odyssey had like a double jump? And then you try to do like the Yawa Hoo Hoo or the hat spin and dive. Yeah. Like
you're not going to try and do any of that. And it's not going to feel cool when you land those jumps because you could just jump and then jump again and always make the jump. And that's why I hate double jumps, and like, because a lot of people love double jumps. Yeah. I hear people be like, the game is double jump, it's automatically better. These people, it feels good to do, but it completely trivializes a lot of level design. Yeah. And I'm not saying there isn't a way to do it. You could have a double jump, and the only like kind of tricky level design I can think of that really does great with double jumps is kind of going under a platform and double jumping. That's like the only obstacle I can think of that's like an advanced kind of like fun, tricky input to get past it, you know? It's like, I don't know, I need moves that have more potential than that, and that's why Mario has always been king for me, because like he's got the moves, the levels can be so varied, you can execute them in tons of different ways, and Crash 4 feels like here's a game that also does that. Yeah. Not in the same way as Mario, but in a way that feels unique and still feels really effective. Absolutely. And like I think that game's really smart. I think Crash Bandicoot 4 is a really good, really smart game. As far as I am so far.
Far, I'm a little bit further than you are, and it's still hitting me really good. I'm like, yes, this is good. This is good.
Don't tell me what the other two power-ups are yet, because Kevin told me that they're pretty cool. I did do the second one where you're like a tornado. That completely changes how the double jump works. Again, it adds more to it. There's a trade-off. It's kind of loose, hard to get onto the platform. So it's not just, here, boom, here's a super move you can just beat the level with. It's like, no, here's another way to maneuver yourself around the level that offers challenge in a new, different way.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, it's really good. I think it's a great game.
Yeah, I hope to God that they will continue to work on more Crash, like because like
that'll do Spyro 4 as well.
Yeah, no, they got to do Spyro 4. I want to see so many things. Yeah, like they're doing good. And recently, what was it? Big Red Button released a tech demo.
The people that made Sonic Boom.
Yeah, they
they got dicked over by Sega with like they didn't even know that thing was going to be on Wii U, and then they made it in Unity, and
that was a bad call on Sega's part.
I think it was Unity. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
So they actually have like a tech demo called Crash and Burn, which is
really
what the next Crash was going to be.
And they probably pitched
when I seen that, I was like, that looks like the running animation that was in Sonic Boom. Strange. Like you can tell that it was like one and the same just by the way that they run.
So Sonic Boom was probably originally they wanted to make a Crash game.
It looks like
they probably pitched that to Activision and they didn't pick it up, and then they just took what they had and turned it into Sega picked it up, make us a Sonic game because we're cheap, shitty Sega.
I'm pretty sure originally there were people from Big Red Button that worked at Naughty Dog.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. Can't guarantee 100% about like what I'm saying is like completely and utterly correct. Yeah. However, the tech demo was like, okay, that would have been a cool Crash game. However, that would not have brought back Crash, and I'm so glad it did not come to fruition.
Toys for Bob was the ones to do it. You can tell that they're just like really passionate about like older games, and they're really good at staying true to it while bringing it like into the new year or the new Era, whatever the fuck you want to call it. New age, yeah. Breaking it fresh and new again is basically what I'm trying to say. And there's a news article came out where, like, the people from Toys for Bob want to remake Space Station Silicon Valley.
Are you serious?
Did you not see that? They want to do this, like, they could do anything, you know, not Jak and Daxter, not like Spyro. No, they want to do Space Station Silicon Valley.
Let them. Let him.
You know.
That's actually really dope.
Isn't that amazing? Being fucking James Lowell right now, like, wow, that's something only I would be really excited about. Like, that would be an amazing remake, because I talk all about how I want them to, do that again, but it kind of fix the game's issues. And if they did that, that would be such a cool
Toys for
game.
Bob, bring back Punky Skunk, please, for the love of God.
I wonder if they could do 2D animation.
Oh my God!
You ever see the 2D artwork from like Spyro and Crash 4?
Yeah.
If they did it in like that 2D animated art style, that'd be really cool.
I just want to see that skunk brought back.
Yeah, you love that skunk.
He was wronged. He was wronged by the times.
Yeah.
And like, unfortunately, that's just the way some video games go. It's like either you're right on the ball with the modernizing, or like, oops, you're gone. I'm sorry. It's sad because like there's so many cool like little quirky guys out there. Yeah. Man, we're both wearing Mario 64 shirts.
Wearing Mario 64 shirts. Yeah. We got Mario and we got Bowser.
Yeah, this is. You know what? Our shirts tell a story. You're going up the steps. I'm gonna go face the bad guy because we went up the steps.
Exactly. I like how your Bowser's a low poly Bowser.
Yeah.
That's a nice shirt. It's even got like the Pervertex lighting on the polygons and the triangles.
I love it.
That's such a good shirt.
I love N64 Bowser from Mario 64.
Yes,
he is as dopey as he looks. Fantastic.
Yeah. I think I criticized how like bad he looked in the Mario 64 DS video, I think years ago, because I was like, I think I called him a crunchy polygon sandwich or something, and how it looks way better in the DS version. But nowadays, like, I do really appreciate low poly characters. There's something about fitting that much of an idea. Like, you could tell that's Bowser, but it looks bad and stupid and silly, but it's like, it's old, it's charming, and you love it.
Yeah, no, like, I just like it, because it's like, look at his face.
Coming out of the painting, too.
Face. He's like, I'm gonna get you.
It's like, I think he'd make a Mario Party when he's about to, like, eat your lunch.
Eat your lunch?
He looks like he just saw, like, a half-eaten sub in the fridge. He's like,
Yeah, no, like, he's actually, like, peering into the fridge, being like, whose lunch can I steal at work today?
Oh my God.
We got Todd, and we got...
Bowser's totally the kind of guy that would, like, eat half of Todd's sandwich and put the rest back in the fridge and probably wouldn't notice.
And take a sip of, like, his lemonade or some shit.
I knew a friend that knew somebody that would do that.
Yeah, no.
Just, like, take nibbles out of other people's food in the lunchroom fridge at work and, like, hope nobody would notice this. That's like, Louie, what are you doing?
Louie,
I don't know why Louie
what are you
is
doing?
The first name I just thought of. I was thinking of Pikmin.
You know, that's a pretty, like... lunch stealing name.
Louie the lunch stealer.
Louie lunch gobbler.
Well, think about it. In Pikmin 3, Louie eats all their food.
That's right.
In Pikmin 2, he does that too. Yeah, the pickback carrots.
Louie the lunch liar.
Louie the lunch liar. He lies about it too.
He lies about your lunch.
Speaking of Pikmin, I've been playing a little bit. I haven't gotten like nowhere yet, but I played the first couple of days of the Switch port of Pikmin 3.
Yeah.
I am incredibly happy with that port. I was just really worried about the controls because that game was made with the Wiimote and Nunchuck in mind. I always hated like playing it with a Pro controller or the Wii U gamepad because the thing is, I love the GameCube controls most because the thing in the original games is the cursor didn't have to go that far. You could only throw the Pikmin so far, and the game was designed around that.
Yeah.
But in the Wii U version, Pikmin 3, the cursor has to go really, really far because now you have these Pikmin that you can throw further, and you also have to be able to throw them at objects, and the cursor can land on the objects too. So suddenly, now you have to move the cursor way, way further. So that makes sense with a Wii remote. You can point anywhere on the screen. But suddenly, now that you're using a stick, the same stick that moves you makes the cursor fly everywhere all over the screen, and it's so oversensitive and so hard to aim at anything. I hate the traditional stick controls on Pikmin 3, but in the Switch port, they made it awesome. With the Pro controller, if you're using that, what it's like now is it's more like the GameCube version of that. The cursor kind of only goes so far, but now it's combined with the gyro aiming, so you can have it. Basically, what I do is I hold it right here, and the right stick moves the camera, which also moves the cursor left and right. So you can kind of aim just by looking the camera left and right, and then you just tilt the controller up and down to make the cursor go out and further and back. So then it's just a combination of the stick and the right stick. Kind of feels like in between the GameCube version and the Wii version, and then the gyro completes the whole thing. And and it feels really, really good. I was really worried about that because, man, like... I just remember going into Pikmin 3, knowing that the right stick was going to control the camera. It's like, and also it being a Wii Remote and Nunchuck focused game, that's like the main control scheme. All I could think is that there's now no way to use the C stick to move your Pikmin around, because I really like that. And I kind of liked the Wii controls, despite you couldn't do that. You can make them charge and do a thing instead, and that was kind of a trade-off. And now... Now that I've, they still don't have the C-stick to move your Pikmin, but it just feels like an even better version of the controls I had in 3. It's like, God, they did a really good job with it. Really surprised that it's, like, not bad. God, I was so worried about that, but it turned out great. And if they do the same thing for Pikmin 4, perfect. Yeah. That's exactly what Pikmin 4 should do. Really hope they let Miyamoto finish that game. Cause remember when he said it was almost done like 18 years ago?
Yeah, and people were like, well, you're lying. That you said it was going to be Pikmin 4, but you made a Pikmin. And he's like, no, it's not it.
It's the problem with business politics because, it's not Miyamoto that gets to choose what games he makes. It's the higher-ups that control the money, that pay him, choose what games get worked on. And when the Switch came out, obviously, okay, we need a new Mario, new Zelda, new Kirby, and they're making... Think about what came out in the first couple of years of Switch. That means they had to take Miyamoto off of Pikmin and all those teams off of Pikmin and make them make those games instead. So it's a matter of, well, it is almost done, and he wants to finish it, according to him at least. But from my understanding, it's the inability to work on it because Nintendo knows Pikmin doesn't sell nearly as well as these other series, so they keep pulling them off to do those other games instead. So it's just hard to work on it.
See, I just question the work outlook on that, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna release Pikmin right before a major launch, Hyrule Warriors, things like that. I'm just like, you don't do that. Don't advertise these bigger titles when you got a smaller guy coming on in, because then guess what? They're gonna get smacked aside, just like Punky Skunk. Big boys come walking in. Everyone's gonna look at the big cool dudes because that's the thing. They're popular, right?
I really hope that it's not Nintendo's deliberate plan, because when things like that happen, it's usually like, okay, we'll put the old one out again, and if it does well, then we'll give you the money to finish Pikmin 4. That could be the situation. It feels likely to me, because that's kind of how those business decisions kind of trickle down and work usually. As unfortunate as it is, I wish Nintendo just wasn't greedy and would just let Miyamoto make whatever the fuck he wants. Again, this is also speculation. I don't know for sure. I don't know how. I'm not in the office. I don't know how the business works. But to my understanding, that's generally how business works. It's unfortunate, but it's like, goddamn,
If I could get one more, deluxe edition of it, maybe two deluxe editions. I want Nintendo Land. I want a new Nintendo Land.
Would Nintendo Land work without the Wii U gamepad, though?
Because think that a lot of it could make it work.
A lot of it's asymmetrical multiplayer, though. You would need, 2 Switches.
Right, there is a gamepad for that. But I'm sure they could do, a new version of Nintendo Land. I want a new Nintendo Land-style game.
If they just did Nintendo Land 2 and just made new mini-games that just worked on Switch.
And you could add, some older ones if you wanted. Yeah. But, I want a Nintendo Land-style game. And I want a deluxe version of... Oh my god, it just went out of my head. No!
Xenoblade?
Not Xenoblade.
Xenoblade X would be...
Because, I think that would be cool for sure. But
Xenoblade X is kind of hard to get into. The difficulty curve and learning curve is way steeper than the other games. Good game, though.
It was Star Fox Zero. That one used the gamepad for
the second
Slippy's minigame one, didn't it?
It also you looked at it to see the cockpit view, but people tell me you really don't need that. People tell me, the people that defend Star Fox Zero and say that it is actually quite good if you can get around the weirdness and how that thing controls. Most people tell me it's like, well, stop looking at the screen to aim, just look up there and just kind of get a feel for tilting it to move the cursor.
I just want Star Fox Zero without gyro control. Yeah. I would like that because
or gyro assist as an option.
Yeah. I want an option for gyro control. Yeah. When you add an option, a lot more people are happy.
Exactly. Again, Splatoon has the option for gyro. If you don't like it, flip it off. If you do like it, flip it on. I love gyro aim. Yeah. Games like Zelda Breath of the Wild or Fortnite, if I'm aiming, I find it so much easier with if I can just move my wrist slightly for those micro adjustments. I think that's great. But for something like Star Fox, when I'm moving in a jet plane, I don't know how much I want the gyro. So in that case, I would probably switch it off. I don't really like Star Fox at all, though, so it's not that... I wouldn't buy it, especially at full price, because they always put them out for full price again.
Absolutely.
But, I wish they put them out for at least, like, $40 instead of full price.
Even like a $50 game. Like, if,
even if
it was like $54.99, I'd buy it.
But no, it's $79.99. That's Canadian, $59.99 US. God, a PS5 games are going to be $99.99.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's whack.
Or they're $89.99, so it's going to be $100
pretty sure
after tax.
most of the AAA studios are going to charge that. Like Sony themselves aren't going to lower their prices.
Hopefully, we'll see more budget titles. I think Spider-Man Miles Morales isn't full price.
Yeah, it's
Insomniac seems to be good with that. Ratchet and Clank, a reboot/remake, when that came out on PS4, it was a budget title. It was like $40, not full price. It was weird, but it was like, hell yeah, it's way more affordable. I hate seeing how unaffordable games are getting, because I think games should be accessible. This is something I bring up in the Echo Night Beyond videos. Like, game preservation is like a conversation I see popping up so much, and like, I hate getting to the end of videos and just to be like, yeah, no legal way to play this, and you know, I hate saying that you have to emulate it, because I feel like we shouldn't have to. I don't like disagree with emulation as an option. I feel like in light of the failures of these corporations in creating ways to play these games, we the fans have to do it instead, and I totally support that. It's like, but I feel like the fact that we have to resort to that is the problem. And I feel like companies aren't creating a viable replacement, so we have to resort to that. And I feel like in an idealized world, I feel like just most old video games would just all be available on PS5 for like $5. Like PS1, PS2, PS3. Make them
$32.99. Nothing like that. That's ridiculous.
Don't put out your 8-year-old game for full price again. Just put them out for like between $5 and $10, maybe $7 for some PS2 games. That would be perfect. I wish we could do that with like all video games, but it's like, it's such a hard thing. And again, it stems from corporations.
Well, it wasn't the battery that died. It was just the gel.
The gel fell off. Do you want to flip that back up? That happened to me when I was recording Echo Night. That scared the shit out of me.
The
gel fell. I think I put it in the Discord chat on Patreon, just a blooper, where like I'm just talking and then the gel falls off and scares me. Unfortunately, corporations are only going to do business decisions that make them more money, which kind of sucks, because it's just not a viable, like, economically, they're not going to make tons of money off of putting all the money into making all these old games on a newer hardware, maybe fixing some issues they had. That ideally would be what the passionate developers who actually made and worked on the games would love to do, but it's down to the publishers, the people with the money, the people that put it out, the people who didn't actually make it, that just kind of control the output. And they're not going to want to do that, because obviously they're not going to make enough money back to warrant it. So it would just have to be like, I'm Martin Scorsese and I really care about, I don't know, I'm doing like a Texan voice for Martin Scorsese, he's got no New York voice. But Martin Scorsese opened like the film preservation fund or whatever, and the museum to try, I don't know if he had a museum, but Martin Scorsese is big into film preservation. It would just have to be a big name in the game industry funding that himself, because companies just aren't. It's not going to make the money. It has to be like, okay, I want to take a loss on it because I want this just to happen. And that's the only world where that can.
Passion is what fuels it, unfortunately, and not everyone has the passion for it. It sucks. If I had the money for it, I would invest in so many things. Just like, oh, buddy, Punky Skunk would be so funded.
I guess what I'm saying is I just wish companies cared more about games than just money. I wish they cared more about just money, because it's like, it would be great for all. If I made something 20 years ago, looking back on it, I still cared about when I made it, but it's kind of shitty. I would love to take that old thing and make it playable again. Be like, hey, I made this old thing. Check it out. I made it kind of better. And indies always do that. You get newer versions of old games like Among Us. They canceled Among Us 2 just to make the existing Among Us better and better. That's the kind of stuff I wish we'd see from the bigger companies. But again, unfortunately, they're just so money-driven that it's just impossible for that to happen. Unless we make changes to the industry. That's, I don't know. It's,
We're gonna make some big changes. We're gonna need to change for preservation. Yeah. We're gonna need to change for
I just don't know
distribution of video games.
I just don't know. I just don't have a solution to the problem. But I think I think the more people talk about it, the more people will figure it out.
Yeah,
I think someday,
we need to make people aware of this.
Yeah, I think someday we'll, as long as we fight towards it, I think someday we'll see older games made available again, not in the shitty Disney Vault kind of we're greedy as fuck Nintendo do kind of way. Not this FOMO shit. I hope they just permanently it's on the storefront. You never have to worry about it. Everyone can just play this thing forever. Yeah. That's what I want to see happen. Hopefully in our lifetimes that will somehow happen. But yeah, game preservation. Let's talk more about it.
It pisses me off that no one does it.
Yeah, it's just something people need to talk about more. I see the guys in Giant Bomb bring it up sometimes. I think it's a good topic. Yeah. But moving on from this topic because we got to get on. I feel like I've been talking about this for 10 minutes. I also played Deracine.
Yeah, that was the game I went and grabbed for you.
Yes, you got that for me because that thing kind of is getting hard to find now. Mm-hmm. EB Games had it on for cheap at your location. And I
immediately was like, okay, I'll go.
They had one copy left. Because I just like having the physical copy because when if I can just show it on camera, people are like, hey, I remember that thing on the shelf, and suddenly there's an extra little bit for it clicks with more people. They recognize it. I like that. So, I played that because it's kind of like a love letter to the older, adventure-driven FromSoft games like Echo Knight. So, of course, I had to play a little bit of it, just to mention at the end of Echo Knight Beyond. That is a lovely game. Basically, it's kind of like a Bloodborne era, Victorian aesthetic. Yeah. Some people think it might be even in the same universe. I don't know if that's a stretch or not. I only got halfway through it. For people that are familiar with it, I got as far as when the kids go into the woods and it's winter, and then you came back to the orphanage. But yeah, it's like you're like a fairy. Oh yeah, little fairy. You're gonna do little tricks on the orphanage, and it's every time stopped, and you have these this time power where you can say I pick up a a fresh piece of bread or something, and then the bread ages and crumbles, and I take the time of the aged bread and put it in the ring, and then I can de-age something else. So if I aged you, I could take that and de-age something else. And time is paused, and you're kind of going around, just interacting with these echoes of people being like, oh, they said this. You can listen to it's almost like audio logs, except it's like an echo in time. You're kind of listening to what these people are doing. Different points in time, you see a shape here of the person, a shape over there of the person, and then you see where they actually are. So you kind of make the connection. They were here, they were there, we learn the story, we figure out why they're up there. Okay, we got the first kind of one. You're just kind of it feels like this fairy thing might be more nefarious than the first couple of chapters make it seem pretty cute. You know, you're a fairy. She's like, oh, kind fairy, please pull a prank on the chef. And then you're taking these herbs and kind of making the broth not so great by putting too much, spoiling the broth as a prank. And that's what the first mission is. But as the game goes on, it kind of becomes more nefarious. What really is this fairy thing? Because in old folklore, fairies were actually demons. They weren't the Tinkerbell kind of... Yeah. So, it feels very much like Echo Knight games where you're unraveling the mystery. Again, I'm not super far in, or not towards the end. I'm slightly over halfway, but I'm far enough into it to know there's something afoot. I think this game's not going to have a happy ending. I think some spooky shit's kind of happening behind the scenes. And again, it does a great job of letting you figure that out yourself in the same way the old Echo Knight games did. Maybe not as well. There is some crutches, you can always pull out a thing to see what do this. You always have a timepiece that just tells you what to do if you forget what to do. So it's a little more hand-holdy. Again, I guess it's just kind of updated how you bring it to the new era. But no, I'm really, really liking it. I think I might even review it. I don't think it's terribly long. I only played it for 4 or 5 hours, and then apparently I'm more than halfway through.
Oh, jeez.
I think it's only a 7-8 hour game.
That's not bad.
So I think I should review that after I do Crash.
Yeah.
But then I also wanted to review Kuon, and there's no way I'm going to have enough time, so I might just do Kuon in December, and then I'll do the top 10 games on January 1st. That might be my schedule for the rest. If I can fit it all, that's ideally what I would want to do. Deracine, Crash 4, Kuon, because that was originally supposed to be part of the original Halloween special, but fuck October, I'm just doing it whenever. It doesn't even say Halloween special anymore, so I can just do spooky videos whenever I feel like. So December might have Kuon, depends on when I get to that. And then January 1st. So 4 more videos throughout the year is kind of what I want to do. 2 months left, 2 videos per month. Or I guess the last one's technically 1st of January, but it's close enough that I can consider it that.
I know a lot of shit has happened this year, but it has gone by rather quick. I gotta say, like it feels like it has like sped right by.
Yeah, I feel like March was like, or was it April? April was like the slowest month.
April was definitely the slowest month because everything was just on a halt.
Yeah,
it was a major pause.
But luckily, we live in a place where COVID's been very controlled.
Yeah,
we've had 0 cases for a long time. Now there's some cases.
There's 19 right now, I think.
But yeah, we're really our province, Nova Scotia, is really good for that. Like they're really pushing the mask protocols. People are preventing it. People aren't really getting sick that much. Yeah, we actually managed to have a healthy Halloween. Like I was really happy. Kids got to go out, and there was not really many problems.
I didn't see any kids at all during Halloween. There was apparently none showed up to my house, and none showed up to Kai's house. So I was like, "Hey, that's fine." We watched Hubie Halloween, and I absolutely loved it. Halloween, you're punished.
Al told me about Hubie Halloween. Because that was the Adam Sandler movie that like everyone thought was going to be the worst movie. Where like if he got snubbed for the Oscar for Uncut Gems, which he did, he said he was going to make the worst movie he's ever made. So people thought this was going to be it because that's the next movie he made after saying that. But apparently it's actually kind of charming. Actually kind of cute.
I love it.
Is what I've been hearing.
It's
not like a good movie. It's as good as an Adam Sandler movie is, but apparently it's actually quite charming. Yeah.
You want some soup? That's my favorite line.
Yeah, so I'm kind of glad to hear it was kind of like a nice, kind of like comfy movie, not quite the disaster piece people were hoping for, but it's stupid and silly, and that's that's cool.
It was like a mixture of like grown-ups and just Halloween, like
Ernest.
Like Ernest Halloween. Yeah, that's
that kind of like stupid.
Ernest P. Sanders, like.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was good.
I should, my girlfriend and I are probably going to be drinking tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she just got off tonight. It's a weekend. Friday night, maybe have some drinks. I think that's what we're going to do. So we might just have some drinks and watch Hubie Halloween. I can't hold liquor at all anymore.
No.
When I first kind of, when I feel like everyone has a point in time where drinking's kind of like a new fun thing. For me, I was like around 22. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of, partying a little bit with the boys. And then for like a couple months, I was like, I did enough that I was like good at it. I could, but now I like barely drink at all. I do it like New Year's and like that's it. So now I can.
Yeah, when you stop doing it, your tolerance lowers.
I get one drink in, then my stomach just hurts. I'm like, so like whatever. But that's probably good. I get enough to get a little silly, and then it's like cool. Right.
I rarely drink. It's usually like
when we were younger adults, we did it.
Oh yeah. No, like
drinking together is fun.
We had like a New Year's party and like even like just like on a trip, but like nowadays like
the cracking in the hotel, dude. God damn, I don't know how you could stomach. I don't know how you could eat stomach cracking.
Like that's my thing. Like, and on top of that, like I drank Hennessy, which is also like really harsh.
Yeah,
like. Imagine everyone's getting into bed and you got Papa Brady, the adult, your supervision, 4 a.m. still drinking his last drink. Like I was nursing.
You didn't want to waste it. You're like,
I was like, I'm not gonna waste this.
No, you're gonna die. Mark got so messed up. He was out of commission the whole next day.
Oh yeah.
We all went to the convention. He was just like,
I was just tired because like I was up till probably 7, 8 a.m. Wandering the streets of Hamilton, which was a bad idea.
I remember we talked all about that a couple podcasts ago. A while. It was like a year and a half ago at this point. But I was just gonna say the funniest part of that was we were playing Mario Party with some drinks, and we're like, Al, it's your turn. Al, we look over, he's just like,
Al just
falls asleep whenever he drinks. Goddamn.
Yeah, but funny. It's like nowadays it's like I don't want to drink because like what's the point?
Yeah.
Like it's also my shelf is full of stuff.
You know what? It's because of COVID, dude. Because no one's been able to hang out and have fun together. That's why. I just realized that.
Yeah. Like it's just like so much stuff is like on my shelf, and I'm like, okay, we got Sourpuss, we got Kraken, we got this and that. We've got a few coolers, but like I'm like I don't know. I don't drink by myself. I'm a social drinker. Yeah. So like.
Oh yeah. What's the point of drinking by yourself?
Yeah. If like 90% of the people are drinking, I'll probably have a few drinks, and then if I get wild, I get wild.
Yeah.
Very rare.
I think the last time I got like wild drinking was probably when we were at Hamilton.
It was probably Hamilton
because Mario Party.
That poor pizza shop.
Oh yeah, when we went to the pizza shop and I was still pretty drunk.
I left my wallet there.
And I was like, bro, can we get toothpaste in the pizza? And I was being so annoyed.
And I was like,
You could tell they were used to it, though.
Yeah.
Getting a couple of tipsy guys coming and ordering pizza. It's a city. Yeah. No, fun times.
Yeah, good times. Yeah. Well, where were we going with this?
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, Hubie Halloween.
I just got spun off of that.
Having a few drinks, watch Hubie Halloween. That's a good idea.
I watched a couple of Halloween-y movies. I watched a bunch of horror movies over the course of October. Yeah. I watched a lot of classic horror films for the first time. There's a lot I haven't seen. I watched the first chunk of Friday the 13th movies. They're bad. I did not know those movies were bad.
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
It's like the most popular, iconic horror series of all time, and those movies are bad. The acting's terrible. The plot's not good. It's like they're just objectively just bad movies. Unlike like the first Halloween's a good movie. You know, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I watched for the first time recently, really good movie. Holds up genuinely well. Old horror movies, usually the first couple are good, and then they get bad. Like Halloween, like 4 onwards, then it's just stupid. But Friday the 13th, I watched the first 4. They're all bad.
It just keeps getting worse. It's like okay, Crystal Lake.
It's just the same movie.
What if Jason went to Manhattan? Or like, what if he's in space?
It just turns into a cartoon at a point. But even from the beginning, those movies weren't good.
Even the video game's corny.
You know what horror movie I watched the first time though? And was amazing.
What?
It's a movie I've been meaning to watch forever. And I actually watched it because I was in the mood for it because I was playing Echo Night Beyond. So spooky stuff in space, especially if you watch the intro of my video. It's also part of what inspired that intro. The way I write about it was Alien. I watched Alien 1 for the first time. That movie is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that movie is just genuinely pretty chilling. Like just the idea of this thing comes out, it goes off. It's
Not again.
Shit, where is it now? Not again. Is that from...
That's from one of them, I'm pretty sure. One of the Alien
I think it's from a parody movie. Like Spaceballs or something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's Spaceballs. Yeah.
Yeah, Spaceballs is kind of like a parody of just any sci-fi stuff at the time. Just Spaceballs like wasn't received well when it came out.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I think it came out long after Star Wars, maybe 7 or 10 years, when the first trilogy was relevant for a bit, and then it kind of exploded over time. But they were kind of parodying it in a time where it's like, well, Star Wars was popular 2 years ago, why are you still doing this? But now that Star Wars is this hyper-explosion mega franchise that everyone loves and is familiar with, Spaceballs has aged really well because of that, because all those jokes are still relevant, still make sense. Really interesting how something not so great, perceptually when it comes out, much later it makes way more sense and people like it way more. I like that stuff. So, instead of aging poorly, it was the opposite. It was bad and aged well. Yeah. Not bad objectively, but bad perceptively.
Yeah.
I like that. I think Blinks is like that. I think Blinks is aged really well. I think that's a well-aged game. Breaks my fucking heart that he's the face of the poorly aged Twitter.
Yeah. I see that a lot, yeah.
I get it because as a mascot he didn't age well because Xbox was like, yeah, we're gonna compete with Mario, and then no one bought it and it completely flopped. But the games themselves, especially the first one, still hold up. It's really difficult. You go pretty slow when you get used to it. It's actually pretty cool good game.
Pretty cool
game. There's a Granicor reference.
Lord.
We did Granicor today.
Yeah, we did 2 Granicors.
2 Granicors. Yeah, look forward to those.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're almost at the hour mark. You were gonna say something before, though, and I was cutting you off because I talked too fucking much.
No. Personally, I think Blinks should come back.
Boys for Bob should do Blinks 3.
Oh my god, could you imagine? I think that would look beautiful.
That would be like a wet dream for me. Like Blinks is out of all the older platformers I never grew up with and I was exposed to for the first time by reviewing it. Blinks is one of my favorites. The original Blinks. I genuinely really like that game.
As much as I like Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, and all those type of style games.
Yeah.
Give me Blinks. I would love to play Blinks.
Because the thing is, Jak and Daxter is still good. So is Sly. Is still good. You can still buy those games like the HD collections or whatever. I think on PS4. I don't know if Sly you can. I know you can with Jak and Daxter, but give us Blinks again. Bring that back. Make it fresh and new, and make it a little more polished. Because it did have issues. It had a lot more issues than Jak and Daxter did. But I feel like there's more value in, and I've said this before, there's more value in remaking poorly aged games than, even if I think Blinks is a well-aged game, it still does have issues you could iron out to make more sense in the modern era. Remake Blinks. Jak and Daxter's still a masterpiece. Blinks is a B game that I think is well-aged. Remake well-aged B games instead of the AAA good shit. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Space Station Silicon Valley.
Space Station Silicon Valley. Oh my god, Mischief Maker.
Mischief Makers has aged really well too.
We didn't talk about this last time, but Minecraft in Smash Brothers. How did you feel about that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I just woke up to a text message from John, and he just said, "Minecraft's in Smash." I was like,
yeah.
I was just like, I just stared at it for a couple seconds. I was just like, I mean, all right. And I watched the trailer, and I was like, okay. I mean, I don't care that much about Smash Bros. Now. It's 2 years old. I haven't played it in forever. I cared about it again when they announced Banjo, and then I fell off it again like 3 months later.
Yeah.
So I haven't paid attention to Smash. But like, interesting choice. In the way, let me put it this way, in the way that Smash has kind of evolved from a celebration of Nintendo to a celebration of video games, Minecraft is the most purchased video game of all time. Yeah. It's probably one of the most recognizable video game IPs of all time. Kids love it. Kids love Nintendo. I think it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I remember when I woke up that day, I had to go to work.
Yeah.
Early morning into late afternoon, and I was going to stream that day, but I was asked to come in, and I was like, sure, why not? I was not like I was going to do something, but yeah, whatever. And I was just sitting there, just dead ass day, and I'm like, man, I really want to look at the Smash news, but I can't.
So you spent the day without
I spent the entire day shut out from the world.
That's good.
In a game store, which is fucking difficult because people come in and they're like, "You just see the new Smash?" And I'm like, "Stop right there! You're violating the law. Get the hell out of here!"
The thing is, people love to come in, fucking grog nerds and indie games. They like to come in and act like they know shit. So they saw the news. They got to be the one to tell you because they love knowing something.
I stopped them, and like anytime the phone rang, I was like, "Can you get the phone? I'll deal with the customers." And
I just want to tell them to stop talking so I don't overhear.
And it's like it was just like all in my face that day was just me staring at the Minecraft section in our store and like looking around. I'm like, man, we got a lot of Minecraft stock. And get home, that hits me, and like I wasn't upset. I wasn't excited. I was just like confused.
You were just baffled.
Because like I was this looks photoshopped. He looks photoshopped in the game because they captured it so fucking well. I actually really like playing as him.
Yeah.
He feels good. It's just a good character.
That's the other thing is he does look really fun to play. He looks very chaotic, weird, different, and I like the weirder, different characters. I know this is such a conversation that's fucking done to death, and there's people have their stance on it, and there's the people that disagree because they just like fucking Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
But I would much rather a creative, weird, all over the place moveset again like Banjo than just another guy with a sword. Because we've seen so many fucking swords. There's more interesting weapons, and I mean, like I saw people like joking, like showing Steve with a sword. Oh, another anime sword fighter, haha. But Steve's got a lot of other stuff. He's got like the minecart. You mine
fishing
stuff
rod.
And you build
pistons.
Stuff.
He has pistons.
Like that's cool. I like seeing characters with lots of gadgets and stuff.
As well as I like his upgrade, where it's like if you mine stuff,
you can get
gold and steel and diamonds, so you can get your weapon stronger. And I'm like, that I like. I like that a lot.
I like characters that have like an extra little thing to it. Like the Dragon Quest guy. I feel like again he's one of the very good exceptions to the sword thing because they did something interesting with him. It's like remember the menu from the game that's there. You have your spells and that is a whole nother thing to think about. And it's like I like that they're doing weird, quirky, more advanced stuff with the characters. And Minecraft is again that's exactly what they did.
Only thing I don't like about Minecraft is they keep picking on... Microsoft characters keep picking on K. Rool, and I fucking hate that.
Yeah, every
I hate
trailer,
it so much. And it's because of that sheer confusion of when Microsoft was purchased Rare. They thought they were going to get Donkey Kong and those type of characters.
I wonder if that's a jab
And I think that might be the jab at that, which I'm like, that's clever history. But fuck you.
Sakurai's clever with that, with the history stuff. Again, like they even have a clip of like the Enderman under the tree, not in the rain, because the reference like the rain fucks with the Enderman. Like all the little details for like a 2-second clip in the trailer. Super well done.
Yeah, no, I was really impressed with Steve. Even though it was a character I didn't want, I'm happy to have him. I'm fine with it. I'm happy to have him.
So, with that said, there's 3 left? 3 left to do, or is there 4 left? I haven't been paying attention.
Steve is the
second one of the next Fighter's Pass?
Second character of the Fighter Pass, so we still got
So there's gonna be 6, so there's 4 more.
Yeah.
I just hope one's Rayman, or I think Spyro and Crash would be good.
I want Crash because he has new mechanics now that would do wonderful. Could you imagine his recovery now? It could be either his jetpack or the mask that allows him to do the spin. I think that would like a charge attack.
Knowing Sakurai, he'd be able to look at that whole series and pick little bits from every single one. And I think Crash is would be a huge character. I think if they say that for last, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like personally, I just want to see more like iconic mascots from back in the day. Some person had this really good idea for if they announced Crash. It starts with the Nintendo costumes fighting each other, like the OG Smash commercial.
I think that would do wonders.
And then the Crash costume with the megaphone. Hey, what are you guys doing? And then they start fighting. And then
yo, mustache boy, blue spiny dude, your days are numbered. Crash is here. Exactly. Crash the party.
That's how they have to do it. Crash is the party. Yeah. It just makes too much sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will do it. I think it's unpredictable. It could be anything. So
it could be at this point. Like I am completely and utterly onto the point where it's like anyone has a chance to get in.
Yeah.
Fallout's in Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm surprised we haven't gotten a Dark Souls costume or something like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised because there's a Dark Souls amiibo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goddamn.
I'm surprised.
I wonder if they would ever put a Dark Souls character in there. Probably not. What would they even do? Like the Knight.
If they introduced stuff, maybe Solaire could be an assist trophy.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. That you could just do that.
Where everything just like kind of like brightens and it's like heat damage.
Yeah, something
like how the curry like heats you up.
Yeah, what they could also do for the character is like have the default character just the default knight class on the cover, but the different skins can be the different classes. Different have your pyromancer, have your miracles build, all the different builds you can do. That'd be really, really cool.
And I'm happy that they gave Bomberman a Mii costume.
Yeah.
Because like where was my boy? Exactly. Where was my boy in Smash? He was an assist trophy. Now he's a fighter.
Yeah. That said, though, I don't think I would want Dark Souls in Smash over other characters because again, he's just a guy with a sword and some magic. I'd rather something different.
More quirky, weird characters, I think, would do wonders. Yeah. Like I love Piranha Plant. When I seen Piranha Plant, I was so confused.
Again, they pick all his movesets from all the variations of Piranha Plants from Mario 3, Mario World, everywhere. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that said, you want to get in the questions? We're just hitting an hour.
Let's
do
it.
So I got the Patreon app on my phone, so I'm going to see if I can get the questions just up right here. In the meantime, just keep talking about something.
Yeah. So, God, what has happened with me lately?
What happened with you, Brady? Are you okay?
Yeah.
The way you said that.
Did I talk about my dislocated knee last podcast?
I don't know if you did.
So
bring it up again if you did.
If I haven't already told you guys, I dislocated and relocated my knee in one swift movement playing VR Beat Saber. So basically what was happening, I went on Extreme because clearly everyone who mods Beat Saber has to do Extreme for some reason. No one wants to do easy mode or a nice casual swing and normal or hard.
Because Extreme's too much for me in Beat Saber, but I can do hard. That's where I'm comfortable.
Literally, when Extreme starts, like the Extreme mode starts, I already missed like 3 when it loads in, and I'm already getting a game over if I don't disable that. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
Legibility is important, and that's something that I often see is absent from
to the modding community. Think about the casual boys that want and girls that want to like do that type of stuff.
Take it down a little.
Take it down a notch. Yeah. Nobody needs to go so hard because when you go hard, you end up with dislocated knees. When I was playing Sonic Heroes, what I'm made of, I didn't want to know what I was made of and break my fucking knee.
Yeah, it made of bones and flesh. Found that out the hard way.
My foot was facing this way, and when I twisted, the rest of my body twisted except for that. It went crack, crunch, pop. I'm so glad my headset was on my eyes, because if I looked down, I probably would have puked.
And then you just like...
I literally was on Discord. I was in my Discord voice chatting with people, and all they heard was me go, ah, like that, and a topple. And when I fell, I landed on my knee, and it went right back into place.
Wow.
And that night I had to still take out the garbage.
Yeah. Oh Lord! I remember when I saw you next. You're hobbling.
Yeah.
You could barely walk. And
still
now
haven't seen a doctor.
How are you now? You're doing
I can actually go throughout the day. Normally, I can swing my leg around, but it still feels weird. And like when I smack it or I hit it, it hurts.
I had that for a while. I think I like tripped on the stairs or something and smashed. It was like in middle school, and it just felt weird. It felt like the knee was further out slightly than it should be, and it felt like that for a long time. But eventually, it just kind of fixed itself. Yeah. But you did it really bad. You should see a doctor.
Yeah, and the thing is though, it's because we're in a pandemic. And doctors are busy.
Yeah.
It's hard to get like an immediate I don't want to do a walk-in at the clinic to do x-rays.
Yeah.
I need like a doctor's note to tell me to go right away when and where.
Yeah, just call your family doctor and see if you can make an appointment.
Yeah, no.
That's where you gotta start.
I have to talk to him about it, and what next time I have off, I'm hopefully gonna go get that checked out because I think I have permanent damage now, and
the sooner you get that fixed, the better. Yeah,
because I'm wild. I'm jumping around all the place. I might be a big guy, but like filming Granicore is
you're energetic.
I need that. Yeah. I need my legs.
Yeah. Well, let's hope we can you can get those fixed up. I'm sure you'll be fine if you just get that checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to get into the podcast questions? I got them up now. Okay, so we got like 23. I'm gonna check the Discord after, see if people left them there, but I posted it with the links. Hopefully everyone just put it right here in one spot. So starting, we got a purple friend goes. How did you guys celebrate Halloween this year?
I watched Who Be Halloween.
Yeah, I just watched. Actually, I watched Alien.
Yeah.
With was it watched Alien? No, Alien I watched the week before. I watched Blair Witch Project for the first time. That was another movie I watched for the first time. Really interesting film. I can tell why a lot of people don't like the ending. But I appreciate it. I really appreciate the movie a lot. It was cool. And then while we did that, we carved our pumpkins. Yeah. And that amygdala pumpkin that you might have seen me put up, that was that. Or that might have been the day before. I think on actual Halloween I didn't really do much. But it was the night, like Halloween Eve is when we kind of... Me and my girl got together and we just kind of watched some movies and just carved the pumpkin. That was really fun. That's basically what I did. Cool. Matthew Weber goes, of all the horror games you've played over the years, which one really stuck with you or scared you the most? Scariest horror games I've always felt like the Silent Hill games. I feel like nothing's really scared me as much as that. I've been playing Phasmophobia recently. That game is genuinely scary, especially with the communication. I asked you about that. You didn't even reply to me. You probably would. Yeah.
Like, I seen that, and I was just like, maybe.
Yeah, Robbie and I have been playing it, and Robbie's having a hard time with it. But, they're getting better. It's going to be cool. I love that game. I want to get more people with it. Something that really stuck with me or scared me the most. I'm trying to think of what I've reviewed.
PT really is the only thing that stuck with me.
I'm trying to think of most of the horror games I've played. I've reviewed at this point. Yomawari really stuck out to me because it didn't look like something that could be very scary, but I found it actually really spooky. I got scared a good couple of times just by the weird.
I got that for $10.
Yeah, that's a great game. Yeah. Yomawari one. I like the first one better because it's more exploration driven. The second one's a little more story driven. The story is pretty good, but I just like being dumped in the town and looking around and it's all hand drawn. And Yomawari was one that really stuck out to me. What about you? And I don't know. I know you don't play much horror. But...
It's PT, Luigi's Mansion, and that's it. Yeah.
Mansion. Beauty and Chaos asks, do you plan on covering more indie 2D games, Lisa, etc., or anything similar to Yume Nikki or One Shot sometime later? A lot of people actually ask me if I'm going to do more RPG Maker games, but I feel like when I first started doing YouTube, I just happened to find more RPG Maker games just through Yume Nikki and then through Lisa. So I stuck with that for a while. But it was never really about the program those games were made in. It was more so about just covering weird indie games. Yeah. I mean, I did cover Hylix 2. There are some other 2D games I might do next year. A couple that look really cool. I won't say what they are right now, but I don't know if I'll do more RPG Maker stuff, and I probably won't cover any more Lisa fan games or Yume Nikki fan games. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I did enough of those years ago, and I like moving on and not staying to one thing too much, but I'll definitely do more 2D, weirder indie games in the future for sure. That's not ever going to be something I'm going to stop doing.
What was it? Apparently Corpse Party's getting a Switch.
Yeah, so there's already a version of Corpse Party on the Switch.
Wasn't there?
There's already one on Switch as well.
Oh, wow.
The Corpse Party's a pretty weirdly big franchise for how niche it is. There's a lot of weird Japanese games. Like, again, I would love to do the Corpse Party game sometime. Maybe I should do that this year. I kind of want to do Tak and the Power of Juju this year.
Yeah.
Or maybe Jimmy Neutron. I don't know, there's a lot of options. There's, like, literally hundreds of games. Like, I keep getting questions constantly, like, are you ever going to review this? Are you ever going to review this? It's like, usually, yes. It's just that there's hundreds of games. It's a matter of getting to it sometime, especially since it's harder to get videos out as often. But hey, I'm gonna still try my best to do it all someday.
Are you gonna do this? Well, if you give me a second.
Yeah, I get people are just excited and they want to, like, you know,
they would love to see your perspective.
Yeah, exactly,
on things,
and so it's just a matter of getting to it sometime. So for sure, Hesiolite, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Hesiolite says, "Hey James and Brady, what are the biggest I wish I hadn't bought this moments of your life? What are your biggest regretted purchases, basically?"
So, like I said, this is why I don't usually drink. I went online shopping and I bought both versions of Mario Kart Live Home Tour, or our home circuit.
The
little RC racers.
Yeah, you got those.
I guess maybe one day you and me can race each other.
We should do that. That sounds dope. I did not know you had that.
Yeah, no, this is why you don't do why you don't drink by yourself.
You don't go on eBay when you're drunk.
Yeah. No, it wasn't eBay. It was Best Buy and EB Games.
Either way, online
shopping's bad.
Idea. Yeah.
Aside from that, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD was probably one of my biggest regrets.
I regret that one a lot. I really regret buying the My Hero Academia game for full price.
Oh yeah.
It was at a point in time where it's like, hey, I got an extra good paycheck this month or something. I was financially fortunate that month, so I was like, hey, I'm big into My Hero right now. I'll buy this, and I played it 2 times. It was okay, never played it again, and now I don't even care about that series anymore. Yeah. That was a big regretted one. Recently, I bought 2 new hard drives, and when I bought them both, I found the same ones on Best Buy on sale for $60 cheaper, and it was too late to refund the purchases. So it was later that same fucking week, too. It was fucking bad. So that was a recent one. But yeah, I don't know if it's the most regret of my life, but those are some.
Those are some ones that are fresh in my mind.
Yeah, for sure. Arsene Phantom asks, "Have you seen any Unis Anus videos?"
Unis Anus?
Unis Anus?
I don't know. Not Unis Anus.
I don't. So
Unis Anus is basically Markiplier and his friend Ethan.
Okay.
Me and Kai, we watch them, and every time, every day for the last year, they've been doing videos of random things where they've had they learn how to be mermaids, so they have those mermaid flipper things. Or they go
Was that the channel where,
pick out their coffins and stuff like that. Yeah, they do some really interesting and weird stuff.
Was that the channel where I saw Markiplier pole dancing with the Game Grumps?
I don't think that was it.
That was a funny video, whatever that was.
But there's things like that where they learn how to do acrobatics and things like that, or even during quarantine they were doing things where it was like paintings and things like that. And this channel actually is only going to last for another 8 days.
Oh, really?
Because they had a clock timer count down every time the video opens up and when it ends. So they have time just ticking down.
They have so much runtime.
Yeah. So basically the channel is time is limited and everything ends. So just as everything begins. So
make every second count.
Make every second count. So they're doing that, and the next 8 days.
I really, really like themes like that.
Yeah.
Echo Night Beyond kind of has themes like that. The whole idea is you only get so much time on this planet, spend your life loving, so when it is your time to go, you have tons to
I absolutely think it's a wonderful thing. They donated their play button, their 1 million subscriber play button. They are literally hey, please don't re-upload this stuff.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be symbolic. It's supposed to be something that's actually meaningful. Just please follow along and enjoy the ride while you can.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm very well familiar with that, so thank you for the question.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Yeah. I totally love stuff like that. Absolutely. Luke Mago asks, I really enjoyed the brief segment James talked about game preservation in the Echo Knight videos. I was wondering what you guys thought the way Nintendo's doing it with the Switch Online service. Yeah, we brushed up on this a little bit. Nintendo's super greedy for that shit. Again, it's just corporate greed. They just want to maximize profits, putting as little money out, as much money back in, and it sucks.
As cool as it is to have those easy accessible in one little section and play those games.
See, the thing is,
why not do that with N64 and GameCube?
That's the thing. I think a Netflix-like service actually makes a lot of sense for games that old, like Super Nintendo, SNES. I wish you could also have the option to buy them and have them permanently. But the thing is, that service only makes sense if A, you have all the games. Yeah. And B, we know it'll last forever. Yeah. Because if we don't know what the next console's going to look like, I don't know if we... I think the only way they're going to do this and keep it the service goes forever is because every time Nintendo makes a new console, they destroy the old store. Yeah. All those games that were available are gone. You can't buy a lot of those games.
What was
anymore.
it? You and some friends actually got together when the Wii shop actually
friends Josh, Lucas, and Don on Mally Stream. Check out Mally Stream. Yeah. I don't know if they still do that, but
you guys were just doing a whole bunch of different things on there.
Josh's I thought that was really cool. We just all pitched in some money on our credit cards, and we were just downloading. It was the last night the Wii shop was open. We were just downloading stuff and just played whatever. Yeah. And there's a lot of cool games. There's this indie game that's only on Wii. That's you have a jetpack or something. Forget what it's called. You guys know the one. It's a platform. A lot of people ask me about it. Yeah. That's just gone. Yeah. The only way you can play that now is by illegally downloading it and illegally modifying your console to get it running again. Why is that the only way to play that? Yeah. Again, I think it's absolutely we're in the right for taking that into our own hands and preserving that. But I think the companies are absolutely in the wrong for not doing that. Yeah. We shouldn't have to do it for them. That's how I feel about it. It's the service makes sense, but the execution does not. No. It is good for them and is not good for preservations of video games. Yeah. And that's a problem. But I really do appreciate that you enjoyed the brief segment where I talk about it because again, it is a conversation more people need to be aware of. We need. And it makes me really happy to know that I said that in that video and that got some gears moving. Yeah. That's what I want to do. I have a platform. I may as well get people thinking about something that matters, So I'm really, really happy to hear that. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Next question from Gothic Garfield. Do you think Garfield, upon achieving his maximum power, could defeat Goku?
I swear to God, I can't escape Garfield. I can't escape Garfield. My boyfriend is obsessed with Garfield. Memes of Garfield are everywhere.
Garfield's one of those things where, the current entity we know as Garfield is so, manipulated and malformed by just internet culture that is just
are they talking about the H.P. Lovecraft style of Garfield?
Yeah, where it's that's Garfield.
If that's what you're thinking, no, because Goku literally has Ultra Instinct right now. The cat hates Mondays. It's as simple as that. He hates Mondays, and Goku...
Goku, even... Okay, let me put it this way. Even if at Garfield's maximum power, Goku couldn't touch him, Goku would just fucking fight him on a Monday. Yes. He would just win. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So there's always that weakness. So Goku gets it. I want a review of those shitty Garfield PS2 platformers sometime. I have one of them. I gotta get.
There's platformers? I thought there was only racers.
I watched Jeff Gerstmann play through the whole. Watch videos of Jeff Gerstmann from Giant Bomb playing those Garfield games. He looks miserable the whole time. They're awesome. I love those videos.
Oh my lord!
God, fucking Jeff Gerstmann's my hero. I fucking love Giant Bomb, dude. Tactical Tuna. One most quotable episode of Garanicor to you guys. This guy says he likes nuclear gaming, nuclear revenge. That's a really quotable.
There he is right there!
I still say, you fucked up this time, big boy. Yeah. Mark and I say that all the time.
I love, how could he do that to me? A pizza delivery! That is probably one of mine.
Quoting a Catch a Taxi. What are you doing here? I know that's just me quoting Chris Hansen.
Of course, don't make me come down there. Don't make me come up there.
That's one that people quote a lot. God. Oh, there's so many. I can't think of any, but we just quote Garanicor all the time anyway, that I can't even think now that it's... when you're put on the spot, that's what I say all the time. Bud. I say bud all the time. It's just such a weird mutation of Nova Scotian accent.
It is literally just YouTube poop bud Nova Scotia.
Yeah, literally. There's too many to count. There's so many. But there's some recent ones at least. I want to think of one. I know The Prophecy. It's one of my favorite Granicore moments of all time.
You're staring at me like I'm some sort of watermelon.
I don't know why that came out of my mouth, but that's the thing. Granicore quotes is usually us talking without thinking.
Yeah.
Whatever comes out just comes out and it makes no sense. And that's just what it is. It's all improv.
Literally, the newest video, I think, has one of the best quotes in it. I love it so much.
Well, which one? Which video?
Herbs in the chili, mess with the spice.
That's it. Yes! That was really... Because I was thinking about the herbs in the stew from Daracina, so I just said, say something like herbs in the chili, and then you just came up with the rest. Perfect.
Started dying. I like the Johnny Dutch here with power pills. Men, they're gonna like you. Or guys, they're gonna like you. Women, they're gonna like you. Men, they're gonna like you.
And then like it's just the picture of Snake.
Is a guy.
Hot girl from Dead or Alive, and then Mario. Yeah. Like Mario is what you see when you say men, and Snake is like that's just that was really it's the editing that makes that one. Alex is fucking full of great quotes.
Oh, yeah.
Alex is so fucking funny. I miss Alex. He lives in Montreal.
Kramer,
now,
that doesn't go on grilled cheese.
Oh, like, there's one. There's one. This fucking man's gonna save you goddamn life. Is that the Pirates?
Yeah. Is that the Pirates?
Too many to count, but like, fuck. Yeah, we love them. Thank you for the question. Yeah. Number 2. Have you been having to deal with annoying election ads on YouTube? Because if so, I'd like to apologize on behalf of all of us American patrons. No, I haven't seen a single ad about the election because we live in Canada, so YouTube's probably like, hey, these guys can't vote. Let's not waste our money on this.
I've only seen one.
Really? I haven't seen any. I've been seeing commercials for Pikmin 3 and Cyberpunk.
Lucky.
Which is like, yeah, that's what I want to play.
Yeah, the commercial was literally just like this circle, and it was just Donald Trump talking. Mm-hmm. And there's a pen or a marker, and it's squiggling into the circle as it's like moving like a mouth, and it just gets muffled and muffled and muffled, and it's like, we can finally shut him up if you vote Joe Biden. And it's like, I'm Joe Biden and I approve this message.
I would love to shut Donald Trump up forever, but I would also like to do it by not voting for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Fuck. I hate American politics.
Why can't we just buy sandwiches in cars? Hannibal Buress had it all right. Let's just buy sandwiches in cars.
Exactly. Nominate Buress for president.
You know what? I haven't had penguin meat.
Free. He'd be like, free penguin meat for everybody, brother.
Hannibal Buress moment.
God, that would be sick. Yeah. No, I just keep getting... The annoying ads I keep getting are like, awesome phone, awesome camera, awesome battery life. It's like, shut the fuck up, I hate you.
Awesome camera, awesome phone, awesome battery life. Shut up!
Noah Nesbitt replies, with these nuclear skills, I'm going to review your ass. Again, that's a really great one. Because... we made a whole video about today, but I love review your ass because there was more to that line. I'm going to review your ass to the negative zone, but I accidentally cut it. Yeah. And then it felt like I skipped the cutscene in a fighting game and it just worked. You know?
And I love that because every time I play Fighters, Dragon Ball Fighters, fucking people always skip my goddamn cutscene. I just want to see Goku Black be like, oh, there's a beautiful form beyond.
Yeah. But it's like, oh, there's a... And then it's just all you get. Yeah, goddamn. Die asks, want to gush about your favorite person? Do it. I dare you. Positivity Hour, let's rock.
I have no idea who my favorite person is.
My favorite person is my girlfriend. I love her a lot.
Like, I on like a love aspect, or like, are we like talking about inspiration aspect? Because like that's where my mind immediately went. Like, obviously, my boyfriend is like someone I think of a lot.
Of course,
however,
significant other is like, by default your favorite person, of course.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Keanu Reeves is cool.
Keanu Reeves is just so like... I rewatched Bill and Ted 1 and 2 with Robbie last month, and then we watched the new one, and like got watching just Keanu Reeves.
Charles Martinet. I fucking love Charles Martinet.
I love. He is one of the most just like genuinely down to earth, just like kind humans I've ever seen. It's almost too good to be true. Like they just found this like perfect puppy dog human to voice Mario. Like wow.
So thank you to COVID for ruining my trip to friggin' too many games. I just want to meet the man.
We're gonna go too many games for the first time, and then COVID canceled it. Yeah. We will meet him someday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I want to tell him about how much I like his direction with the Waluigi character.
Yeah, I like the Yahwahoo.
Yeah, I really
want to eat that guy.
I want to tell him about how I didn't like in the DS version. You know, they made it hoo yeah, yahoo yeah, and it was randomized. I kind of like the.
I want to videotape him, and I'm like, do the Luigi. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm sure he loves having camera shoved in his face and being asked to do something. I love that too.
Hey,
Please do that.
Do the thing.
Please do that to me if you ever see me at a convention. I'll definitely not tell you to fuck off and die.
Yeah.
Awesome Hat asks, have you seen the Super Mario Sunburn mod for Sunshine? Has some great improvements like choosing any episode in order, and you only need 70 shines instead of every episode 7. Yeah, I have heard about that. I
haven't.
Neryl mentioned it in a recent video of his that was actually really good about kind of fans making better versions of games in the company. It was about 3D All-Stars. Really good video. You should check out Neryl's channel. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. But also, yeah, I heard about the mod like long before that actually. Yeah, it's that is exactly Mario Sunburn. Basically, if you look at my old Mario Sunshine video and hear all the fixes I want to make to that game, pretty much just does all of that.
Yeah. Wow.
So if I ever play through Mario Sunshine on Wii again, I'm definitely gonna try and install that mod on it and play it that way. Yeah, that's a fantastic mod. If you can figure out how to hack your Wii and stuff, I know some people, a little intimidating. Easier than it sounds. I'd recommend trying that out. You could probably get that running on an emulator too. Yeah. I just like playing stuff on original hardware because it makes it easier to record too, and I like playing it on my TV, and I don't know, I just like playing it on the stuff. But you can totally do that on emulator too, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's a great mod. Definitely recommend that. Eric Shaleko. Yeah. So, sorry if I got that wrong, but Eric Shaleko says, "Hey James, love the Echo Night Beyond video. Thank you. You talked about how publishers need to get better at preserving their older games, which I wholeheartedly agree. I'm glad you do. What cult classics would you like to see get more attention and or remastered for modern console/PC? Blinks. I would love to see Blinks come back. Well, Microsoft's good with it because Microsoft has Blinks available on Xbox Series. That's the first time I actually referred to that thing as the right thing. I keep calling it the Xbox One X. I gotta stop saying Series X. Drop the X. Just call it Xbox Series, and then you could be X or S. Doesn't matter. Just Xbox Series. What I gotta keep doing to get out of that. Yeah. I can't call the PS5 the PS5. I keep calling it the PS4. I don't know why. I'm not used to the new generation yet.
We're just getting into early stages. It's weird.
Other old games, I would love to see, like, pretty much every old horror game that I've reviewed, everything on PS2 and Wii and PS1, bring all that back, because horror games weren't hugely popular when they were coming out. It was like Resident Evil got all the sales, and that was like it. And people got their horror fix from that one series, and then it was nicher to go deeper than that. The Silent Hills, the Echo Nights, the Haunting Grounds, the Clock Towers never did as well. So those games are all insanely hard to find and insanely expensive. Yeah. Put them all online. Put them all on Steam. Put them all on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch.
You know what I would fucking kill for? I would kill for a PC port of fucking Snatcher.
Yeah.
I would live for that.
They've never officially released that.
Yes.
You know, and fully translated. There's only fan translations.
Yeah. Please. Please.
Snatcher on Switch. Yeah, maybe they can finally somehow do that thing to make your room smell like a crime scene. You remember when Kojima wanted to put the paint that would melt from the heat of the console, make your room smell like blood?
Oh my god.
Kojima was an ambitious guy, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He wanted the end fight to last a week in Metal Gear 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he wanted that. They wouldn't let him do it because obviously
that's nuts.
It's like I totally respect and love, and I'm all for like doing weird, inaccessible things for the sake of like art.
Yeah.
Like John blows fucking overboard with that shit, like the moon puzzle and the Witness and the slow moving cloud and Braid and Sean Huntani and Marina were very much influenced by him. Mostly Sean with some of the Anodyne puzzles. You have to wait 2 hours for the rabbit to cross the screen. Like I love shit like that. But I understand at the same time, has to be a video game most people can play, so you gotta make sacrifices there. But yeah. Hey asks, why? What's the worst pizza you two have ever had?
Manhattan Pizza.
Manhattan Pizza?
Yeah, it was a place that used to be just nearby my house. Okay. I actually bit down on it, and they had herbs on it, or spices that weren't grounded properly enough, and I actually cracked one of my teeth.
Yikes!
And it just did not taste good.
God. I've never had, I don't think I've had pizza, buying it and eating it there that I thought was particularly bad, or getting delivery that was particularly bad. But slices. When the slices are just out. My dad had a friend that worked at a pizza joint. I don't know what it was called. I don't know if it was a chain or a family-owned business. But either way, my dad would bring home the slices that were still there that night, so he'd bring home 3 slices or whatever, and they were all just fucking terrible, because slices are kind of bad. They're sitting there all day, and then you bring them home, and then they're cold later, and then they just taste like shit. That's the worst pizza ever, is is day-old slices that's in the fridge in your microwave. That's terrible.
No, a whole pie, though, and then you put it away for later, that's okay. That's
delivery, good. That's the good shit.
Yeah.
Just slices, don't like slices. Blake Wall asks, I've heard you talk about Granicore many times on this podcast, but as someone who's never seen Granicore before, where would I find it, and what's a good place to start? So, Granicore is just the name of the YouTube channel. Just go on YouTube, type that in. The profile picture is like an old picture of me with like shades, kind of edited to look like kind of spooky CRT nonsense. So it's like a cool edit I did forever ago in college. That's just still a profile picture. Look for that. It's Granicore in all caps. And I don't know, just go to uploads and click anything. There's no
Here's a sample of that right now. What's up, James? What's up? What's up with all this? What's up with that? Buddy.
COVID, dude.
What?
Yeah. It's in the bees now. You are Brady's powerful, man, just throwing that in there. But there you go. There's your sample. There's your answer. You've watched a Granicore video. Brand new one, too. God damn, before anyone sees
the new ones, you can just throw in like a little clip of something else.
Well, I may as well premiere the new Granicore video here, too. So there you go. Little gift for you guys. So now you're started. You got started. But yeah, Granicore doesn't have much continuity. There's a couple of newer videos that are sequels to old ones, but we make sure they stand alone on their own. It's just kind of like weird lore shit, like, oh, this is from that video, like, because Mega 64 would do that, and we like doing that too. But just anything. But if I could recommend some of my favorites, Pizza Prophecy is one of my favorite videos we've ever done.
The Truce.
The Truce.
The Truce is
that's a loud and annoying video, kind of long, but if you can tolerate The Truce is great. Also, To Catch a Taxi. To Catch a Taxi is great. And Tea Time.
Yeah, Tea Time is excellent.
Tea Time was fun just because we filmed trying to emulate like PS1 movement, and it looked really, really cool, and it's really silly and funny. And Mower Quest 64 is also an all-time classic. Those are your 5 greatest hits. Yeah. What would you recommend? Give us your 5.
My 5? Literally were 3 of those there. I put up 4 for some reason. So like I recommend The Truce. That's a good one. If you're looking for something that's a little more video game-esque, The Mario Within is always a good one. Did we change the title of that one?
I think it's still Mario Within.
Mario Within. That one's a cool little quirky one for the time. Oh God!
Kind of like a time joke. Doesn't make sense anymore because Evil Within 2 is
Time Killer for Metal Gear.
Time Killer 5
is a good one.
I forgot about that one. If you like Metal Gear Solid 5, any of our old Metal Gear Solid 5 parodies are still pretty good. Yeah. Some of them are better than others. I'm Kaz in all of them. That's back when I had braces, but a lot of people say that I do a.
And this was back when I didn't have much facial hair. So
you're clean shaven back then.
Yeah. Oh God. Miller Griller was a good one.
Miller Griller's fun. Yeah. Killer Miller is also
Killer Miller is another good one. There's just so many that I could list off to you.
You know what? I'm gonna say right now, the best Metal Gear 5 video we did is the Decoy Dilemma.
Decoy Dilemma is probably one of my favorites.
Little more kind of like getting into the sex joke Seth Rogen tasteless shit territory.
Crude stuff,
but it's crude, but it makes me laugh. Yeah. I love that joke.
The pop and just me.
When you pull up the eye patch and look at both eyes, that's a really good one.
Yeah, but we'll let you go and see those. Definitely go check them out.
There's anywhere. If you find it funny, good. A lot of people don't. It's our sense of humor is weird. It's nonsense.
People question our sanity.
It's basically like a adult swim show for stoners made by sober people that are just weird.
We've had someone in that demographic actually like walk up to us in public and be like, I watch that stuff when I'm like fucking high, dude.
A lot of people are like, wow, they might have been so fucked up when we came. It's like we come up with these ideas when we're sober. Surprisingly, I don't know. I'd be scared of thinking of ideas if we're fucking on something. Goddamn. It'd be even weirder. Maybe it would be less weird. Who knows? But either way, Johnny Snow asks, "Hi James, have you ever played Gregory Horror Show?" He just says what it is. I know exactly what it is. No, I've never played it, but hey, that's one of the ones I want to cover someday. It's a matter of getting it. I don't have that game, but yeah, I know about Gregory Horror Show, and I do want to cover that sometime. It looks like a really interesting, like quirky game, very like a blocky characters, like the main characters are rad. It's kind of like kidsy look, but still actually kind of spooky, kind of weird and unsettling. That's kind of what the vibe that game goes for, and I really like that a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah, someday for sure. Noah Nesbitt asks, "Are either of you excited for No More Heroes 3?
Absolutely.
2020 release?
Good luck. I'm excited for No More Heroes 1.
Yeah, so, I bought both of them on Switch. That's Stealth Drop. That was amazing.
Yeah. No, I was...
I want to review them both sometime because I really like the second one as a teenager. That game I think is really interesting, like character wise, and that like on the surface level, Travis Touchdown seems like this cool dude, but he's really just a fucking weeaboo loser nerd who's emulating his cool shows, and that's what makes him a really really interesting character. And no, I would love to kind of look into that. I know a lot of people kind of explore
Travis Touchdown versus Gex. Let's see it happen.
Yeah. Oh, what would that even mean? Where do you even come up with these?
I don't know, man.
Are you in drugs when you thought?
I'm just like TV.
Yeah, No More Heroes 3 looks awesome. They finally showed actual gameplay. Yeah. It looks like what I wanted to be. It looks like the true No More Heroes gameplay, a lot flashier, the cel-shaded graphics, while the aliasing looks like dog shit like it does in Astral Chain, just because anime games just have to look like that on Switch. But once you get past that, it's flashy, it's colorful, it looks awesome. I like how they're just saying, fuck it. We're not just like, hey, the previous two plots, you gotta take on the top 10 assassins. Like, now there's just 10 aliens invaded, and it's the 10 evil aliens. Like, just for no reason. Who gives a shit? We're going crazy. Times. Yeah, love it. Really stoked for that, and I think the first two coming to Switch is out of nowhere. Yeah. Again, we're talking about game preservation. That's what it is. Put all new games on modern hardware on a digital storefront. Will never go away, and you can just download them anytime. That's what we need. That's what we need.
I want them to do Killer 7.
They have an HD port of Killer 7, but I think the license is all split up because it was between like Capcom and somebody else, and I don't know, and I think they got it on Steam or something.
Well, see, with Capcom, I think that they'd be okay with that because they did the Devil May Cry series.
Yeah.
And they're on there.
Yeah. So
I would love to see that because like it seems super interesting.
I don't think it's that as much. It's the communication between all the different parties that worked on that thing that kind of makes it hard to. I don't know the business behind it, but I know there's something like that kind of making it hard to get Killer 7 to Switch. But that said, I hope they manage to do it because I would love to play HD Killer 7 on Switch, and I want to review that game sometime. Yeah. I love Killer 7. I played through it when I was in high school, and that's such an interesting game, and I feel like now that I'm an adult and I'm kind of better at paying attention to story shit and figuring out the story, I feel like I've gotten better at that. I used to make a lot of mistakes when I kind of talk about the spoiler section in like horror games, but I feel like with these Echo Knight games and with the Fatal Frame games, these past 2 years I've gotten better at it. I think it's just me getting older and just getting better at what I do just by doing it enough, and I feel like picking apart Killer 7's very complex behind the scenes, like kind of politically driven, like a thriller, weird underground criminal plot. Yeah. There's a lot of shit there that'd be really fun to explore. So sometime I really want to make a good video about Killer 7.
No, it's Friday night.
Yeah, exactly. I love how that clip's become popular. Added context. It's always nice. Let's dance. Yeah. Steve Blum's in that game. God
my god.
Good fucking game. The Boodler asks, "Hello. Pretty much everyone knows about your passion for the Rayman franchise." What?
I'm sorry. Just say the name one more time.
The Boodler.
The Boodler. I'm the Boodler. I love that. I love that name.
It's a good name. It's a good name. I know you're passionate for the Rayman franchise, but have you ever looked at any of the Rabbids games? I've played like all of the Rabbids games when I was a kid. My friend Dylan had Rabbids Go Home. I played the shit out of the first two Raving Rabbids. I liked them as a kid, but as I got older, I kind of grew a little more distaste.
I was told Rabbids Go Home was a pretty decent game.
That game's really cool. I would absolutely love to cover the Rabbids games sometime. I want to kind of recover Rayman 1, 2, and 3 someday and then do all of it. I don't want to do that this year. Maybe not next year, maybe the year after, but sometime I'm going to do all of it. You better believe it, guys. Sometime. But this year I think I want to do Attack of the Power Juju. Depends on what I'm feeling. But I'll get back to Rayman sometime. I will, and I'll do the Rabbids games. I really, especially Rabbids Go Home. I remember you could like customize your Rabbids. You put them in the controller and shake the controller. They bounce around. There's like a lot of cute stuff in it like that. Those are kind of cool games. As much as like the Rabbids games are all kind of samey, but I could just review all 3 in like one video or something like that, and then wouldn't bother with the later ones like Rabbids Travel in Time and Rabbids Super fucking Carnival Party 2000, whatever the fuck they did.
In that time era, it's like, hey, the little bad guys from that one thing become the popular thing. Like, like it was Rabbids, it was Minions, it was the monkeys from Ape Escape. It's like
they made all those monkeys have tons of spin-offs in Japan. Yeah. God damn. Well, Tactical Tuna asks one more question. You already asked a question?
Yeah.
Or are we going backwards?
We're getting I don't know, a few extras.
What was the most inconsequential shot in a video that you spent an unnecessary amount of time on? Like a 2-second shot that took like 8 hours.
Oh, I can easily say one. I stood in the fucking cold dressed as Snake, smoking a fake e-cigarette of the Phantom cigar. Hopefully to do a time lapse.
Yeah.
However, it turned out like shit.
We found out when the sun was gonna set, so we had you sit on the cliff and filmed you standing there for an hour. Or it was like 40 minutes or something, and it didn't even look good at all.
I had utility belts like fucking crushing my nuts.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
Yeah.
But
I feel so bad about making you do that because we didn't even use it. It didn't look good. And that would have been an awesome, ambitious shot. But it's like, I feel like there's a better way to do it. If we just put a green screen behind you and then just film the background, and we do that. We could cheat with that. Would be a more economical.
We can After Effects it, no problem.
That was one.
Yeah. What was another?
As far as like Nitro Rad goes, any of the close-up shots of like panning across Nintendo Power, not like talking 8 hours or stuff, but little examples like when I was talking about Rocket Robot on Wheels, just that pan-up shot of the actual physical Nintendo Power magazine as I flip the page to have it land right on the information I need. Yeah. Those take like 10 minutes of me doing it over and over till
you gotta have hand-eye coordination.
And I need to like flip the page while cranking the thing down, adjust it, make it too tight, or not too tight, not too loose, get a good smooth pan, and those take forever, but I love doing them though. And then of course the Digimon bit in the Animal Crossing, or the e-reader in Animal Crossing video, that's one of the longest I've spent. This wasn't a 5-second thing, but the Cory in the House thing is probably the longest it's taken me to do something. Yeah. But that intro wasn't like a 5-second thing, so that's not a real example. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I feel. That would have been a 5-second thing of a time lapse, but it's
you got this. I'm in the middle of a podcast. What?
Oh, well, I didn't know. Are you home?
No, I'm in the middle of a podcast.
Oh, over at James?
Yeah,
hey, it's me. Here, what's up?
Here, we'll talk to you later. Okay, I'll call you. Thanks. Okay.
That was fucking funny.
Oh my god!
I'm leaving that in.
Please do. If we can subtitle that.
God damn! I couldn't even make out what she said.
Ladies and gentlemen, my grandmother. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Well, next question, I guess. Yeah. Moving on. X asks, do you like Clone High? I've always known about Clone High from the memes and the YouTube poops and shit.
I used to watch it.
I always thought it was kind of funny, but I actually watched the first 2 episodes front to back for the first time, like, earlier this month. That show's really fucking funny. Yeah. The humor is, like, actually genuinely pretty clever. Pretty well written. The guys who made that thing, you can tell, are like really fucking funny. Yeah. And they're finally like doing a revival or something, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna continue it.
Yeah, and it's so funny how the thing got canceled. It was something like MTV pulled it off because India did like a hunger strike because the way they depicted Gandhi, they were like in India wouldn't let the MTV guys leave until they pulled it off. It was something crazy. Like it's on the Wikipedia page. It's absolutely crazy.
It's whack. Got canceled. But like I used to watch it on Teletoon at night when I was supposed to be in bed.
Yeah, I never caught it back then. But yeah, that show's so fucking funny. The John F. Kennedy is such a good fucking character.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
I like when he's in the car with Cleopatra and Abe.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, Mario!" it's like I killed Mario too.
God, that's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I shot Marvin. Yeah. I wonder if that's a reference to that.
Maybe.
Loosely, at least. Goddamn, no, that show's awesome. I want to watch the rest of it. Yeah. And then I want to watch the new one that comes out. That show's sense of humor is very similar to Grand Course.
Yeah.
Yeah, is what I've noticed. Not like identical, but it's same ballpark. Just stupid shit.
Yeah.
Goddamn, it's good. Speaking of which, fucking, I just got to say this. Eric Andre season 5. Watch the first 2 episodes of that. Oh my fuck. He's clean shaven this time, so all the public pranks he's depicting like very clean put together businessmen or news reporters. So he plays it so straight, and then the chaos suddenly has this context that's just way more like, oh my god. When he has his dad in a wheelchair down the stairs, and then it just turns to an infomercial while these actual people are actually like panicking in distress behind him as he's it is so fucking good. Oh my god. I was like, how are they going to top the first 4 seasons? Holy fuck, do they ever. Season 5, oh my god, they really have fucking did themselves. I just had to say that. Because, I fucking love Eric Andre.
No,
oh my god. He's a fucking hero.
I gotta watch it. I really gotta find a place to watch it.
He's one of my biggest influences on my sense of humor, for sure, is Eric Andre.
I think we, as like a group, we have a very Tim and Eric with Eric Andre.
The weird Adult Swim stoner humor, I guess, is always our thing, even since we were kids. Yeah, it's weird humor.
We like to be chaotic, and we're good little boys and girls that are chaotic about it.
Yeah,
so.
I like. It was mostly hanging out with Alex because he always liked that sense of humor. And, it just, like, the idea of, like, just the most absolute awful, horrible, like, Cthulhu-esque horrible thing happening in the most nothing scenario, and people react in a way that makes zero sense. It's just fucking hilarious to me. I love that shit. But yeah, next question. Brant Howard asks, what's your favorite or most memorable Easter egg from a movie or game or whatever? Ooh.
Oh, God.
All of Anodyne's Easter eggs are my favorite ever. I know in, like, GTA 4, if you go inside the Statue of Liberty, there's, like, a giant human beating heart inside it, and it's fucking disgusting and weird, and I thought that was cool as shit. Just to put it there just to hide that.
Vice City had the room from Scarface, and obviously I like Scarface, right?
Cool.
So
that's cool.
It was back when Tony Montana meets with these people from the Philippines, I think it is. Yeah. And they're just... everything goes wrong, and there's chainsaw and blood and everything. And I'm like, I like that. But aside from that, I like the Big the Cat Easter eggs in Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, yeah, those are fun. One really good one, Just Cause 2, the island from Lost was in there. There's they had a guy with smoke around him. It was kind of like the Smoke Monster. They had the hatch, the word help written in bamboo or whatever, the trees on the beach. That was a really cool one. I was really big into Lost at the time, and my friend... one of my friends had that game, and I remember we found that out, and we tried to find the island. And when you fly over it, your plane even just blows up and crashes into it.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite Easter eggs. Just Cause 2 is not even a game I'm ever been super crazy about. I think that game's pretty good, but it's not one of my favorite games. But I love that fucking Lost Easter egg because I was a huge fan of Lost when I was a teen. Really want to rewatch that sometime. But yeah, that was a good question, Brant. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You don't have any other ones you can think of?
Not really.
All right. Solace the Satanist Girl asks, what game stories and their lessons do you find most helping in the pandemic? I don't know why I read that like a fucking vibrato. What game stories and their lessons do you find most helping in the pandemic? Equinite Beyond's for sure. Just valuing your experiences with other people and trying to stay connected, I think, is a really genuinely important kind of rule to live your life by. That's a really good idea to have a game present you. That's one I can think of right now. That's just because I just did that. I'm so bad at thinking of shit. What about you?
Not more safe for the pandemic. Even in Metal Gear Solid is a very inspirational, learning experience. Being we shouldn't I don't know. There's just so much shit in there.
I think the themes of Metal Gear, a lot of it is misunderstanding your own value.
Yes.
Snake thinks he's a gun. He thinks he's a weapon because it's the only thing he's good at. And there's a lot of
But you need to enjoy life. You need to take life at its fullest, and also not be a prisoner of fate. In a sense, write your own history and your own genes. Pass along what you've learned, so you can learn from it, right?
And, again, it's weird to take it seriously now because the word meme has such a different connotation, but the idea of what you leave behind, not your DNA, but the impact, the things you've made, your creativities, your language, your memes will be passed down is also a really important thing as well. I think we should do what we can to leave our mark on the world in our own way, in a way that's valuable to us and that gives us something to value and occupy yourselves with. whether it's like making YouTube videos or it's like even getting involved in the political process. And my friend Mark's been canvassing, and I'm really proud of him. Just leaving your mark in the world in one way or another.
Supporting a good cause. It's like it's things like that, and that's why I love it.
It could be a greater thing that benefits the world, or it could be a smaller thing that just benefits you. It's a personal project or whatever matters to you. Themes like that, kind of Metal Gear explores it a little bit. A lot of other things do. I find Tony Hawk really inspiring in that. Like, a lot of people say they're inspired by Tony Hawk, but he is genuinely one of the most inspiring people to me because, like, what is a 900? He rotated around a couple of times on a fucking board. That doesn't benefit anybody. It's meaningless to anybody who's not into that culture, but it didn't need to have meaning because he gave it meaning, and then it meant everything in the world to him. It gave him a reason to exist, something to pursue, and it only mattered to him, and that's all that mattered. Yeah. And that, I think, is one of the most inspiring things there are. Life has no meaning, so you have to give yourself meaning. Yeah. And, I know it's not really from a game or stuff, but Tony Hawk is always a fallback for inspiration to, like, kind of keep myself going. You got to make your own meaning, find what you want to do, and fucking do it, and... That's also
he himself is just like he dies trying. Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's like
do it or die trying. Yeah. Even if it's meaningless, as long as it means something to you.
So any of the Metal Gears is really like something that would helps me get through it.
Right on.
Thank you.
LSD Rage asks, I want to know more of your editing and setting for recording. I asked in Discord and people told me I should ask here. So, more of my editing and setting for recording. I don't know what you mean setting. I just record everything right here at my computer desk. It's just I just have my mic right here and I just talk into it with a pop filter kind of. I don't know. I just do it all there at my desk. That's it. Let me get this back. I shouldn't have turned the camera now.
I was like, that's an interesting angle.
Yeah, I don't know. I just do it all on my desk. Editing, more about my editing and setting. I don't know. I just edit all in Vegas. It's a weird question to answer unless I'm, like, showing you with an editing. Sometimes on Patreon I'll put up, like, here's me editing something. So I don't know. There's one about rhythm I did that's on the Patreon. Maybe that'll give you an idea of some things I think about when I edit. I mean, it's kind of a generalized question that's kind of hard to, like, get to the nitty-gritty of what you're asking specifically. More about your editing and setting. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to it. Enough that I can't just I don't know. But yeah, all I can say is maybe watch some of those editing videos and you'll kind of, I don't know. I'm all over the place when I edit. I'm a really messy editor. I'm not very organized. I don't use the trimmer. I just throw everything on the timeline and go back and forth with it.
I've watched this man's editing process.
I have a very chaotic method of editing, but that's just the way.
You get it done.
That's just the way I do it fastest. I can do it really efficient. Slip tool, alt click, move your audio
save
tracks.
Every 10 seconds, you know?
Yeah, you're pressing Control S.
God damn, does Vegas crash so much? Oh my lord.
Well, it used to crash so much, and now I got a good graphics card and the 8-core CPU, and now it runs like a dream.
There you go.
It only crashes. It used to crash a lot on me, then I realized because I was using too many proxy files, so I dialed it back and only use proxy files and the actual 4K shit I need them for. There's a lot to it. I don't know. Maybe I'll put more stuff out. Hard question to answer, but I'm glad you're interested in it. It is editing's a really fun thing. You just gotta play with it. Make YouTube poops is how I learned how to edit.
No, like literally. That's what helped me get into a bit of editing. Yeah, because we used to do those yokai watch. Poops.
Exactly. Like just take some footage, chop it up, screw it up, and that's just how you learn to edit.
That's how I can do my things for streaming. It was through that. I was like. And that was all thanks to that dude and YouTube poops. So
I just need some pointers. I use Vegas. A lot of people shit on Vegas. A lot of people like Adobe. I hate Adobe. Adobe doesn't have a real-time slip tool. I'm out of crossfades. I can't fucking edit audio together nearly as fast in that thing. Rendering times are a lot better in Adobe, but now that I got a good graphics card, if I use my graphics card to render, it only takes an hour, where it used to take 9 hours because I'm rendering with my CPUs. And I have an 8-core CPU. I don't know if that changed anything. I don't know computer shit. I'm trying to learn more about it. I don't know. I need a better CPU. My CPU's pretty old. It's got 8 cores, which is good, but I don't think they're good 8 cores. I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question at all, but my thoughts are very disorganized. But hopefully that's something. Moving on. Mr. Businessman asks, "Hey James and Brady, I'm just curious if you could have any custom amiibo done, what would your dream amiibo be?"
Punky Skunk.
Punky Skunk amiibo. Yo, that would be cool.
I mean, I've already gotten my K roll, so.
Yeah. Any amiibo ever, I would love a Blinks amiibo. Because some of my favorite amiibos is like Wolf and Falco and Fox. And I just love the way the fur shading looks on them. The Banjo one's going to be really fucking dope. I would love Blinks done similarly. I love like mascot characters. I love Blinks.
You see the Banjo one?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I really want to get it.
Exciting. Yeah.
Really want to get it. I'm going to go with Blinks just because he's a character design I really fucking love.
I would love to see a modernized Punky Skunk with that similar detail like Fox and Wolf and Banjo. Yeah. Blinks excellent. Even Incineroar looks good. Like any characters that have like that fur is like...
You do a good job with it.
Woo! Yeah, that's nice.
Moving on, Mr. Awesome asks, James, you've said you vividly remember most of your dreams. I occasionally dream I'm in a video game or playing one. Do you have any favorite dreams like that? Thing is, I vividly remember my dreams, but they go away if I don't like write them down. So I don't have I don't remember a lot of like examples right now. Sometimes I can remember dreams. Do I have any one where I'm in a video game? I used to have a lot of dreams where I'm inside of Animal Crossing. Yeah. And it's like this weird, like, it's a dream, so it makes no sense. I'm not thinking about it, but it's kind of like real life, but it's also the game because the camera angles look like it. I'm looking at myself in third person. Am I? Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Dreams are so abstract. But I remember like a lot of shit, just like catching weird fishes that would like glitch the game, or like the map's just like pitch black and there's like torches lighting the way and you gotta hide in the bushes so characters don't get you. A lot of stuff like that I've had happen in Animal Crossing. Like anytime I'm in a game, it's always Animal Crossing. I remember like fucking... I remember this one where it was something to do with Pokemon Puzzle League. It was like weird. Dreams are so abstract and strange, but I remember it was like Pokemon Puzzle League, but I was somehow in a lineup for like a museum. And I think like the conversation I was just having with like the guy in the line with me, it was like the two split screens. It was as if it's like the sensation when you're playing a game with a friend, you're just talking, but it was that overlaid me talking and we weren't playing, but it was just, I don't know, it's weird to describe, but it's a lot of stuff like that I usually, just because I play games while talking to people so much, so I think like my brain's just remembering gameplay and remembering a lineup at the museum at the same time. It's weird stuff like that. Really weird to describe, but yeah. What do you think?
I had one dream recently where I was on Isle Delfino by myself. There were no civilians, no enemies, nothing. It was just atmospherical sounds of the ocean. Yeah. And just me walking around this empty town. It was kind of creepy. Especially when the fact that I went through an entire day process of it going from day into night into sunrise, and then I woke the fuck up. And I was...
Goddamn.
I was just going around trying to explore as much as I could. I was opening doors to places I couldn't go into in the game. It was weird. It was also hard to get up towards Corona Mountain because there's no actual way of climbing that.
Yeah, it's covered in coronavirus. You can't get past it.
Fuck's sakes.
I'm just sitting and thinking because like I'm bad at thinking stuff on the spot, but I do have some other dreams I've remembered.
Yeah.
These past 2 months, I keep having a recurring dream of buying an Xbox Series X and just playing Blinks on it and playing like Cyberpunk and I just keep dreaming of just playing the Xbox Series X. I don't know why.
Sounds to me like you're getting that too.
I think it's just because the backwards compatibility just seems so good, and I keep having dreams of like again playing mostly older games like SSX 3 and Blinks and like a lot of stuff that wouldn't make sense to play on it, like Sonic Adventure 2, which like it's a GameCube game, but my dream forgets that, right? Yeah. Remember also, I still have this sometimes. I do have recurring dreams of, very similar to what you just described, and that's what made me think of this, is that, except Mario 64's castle, but my dream always remembers it much differently. My dreams always remember it a lot more gray brick hallways, very long hallways, a lot of red steps going up and down, a lot of doorways, a lot of just kind of meaningless rooms with kind of odd paintings on the side, a lot of like thin, long stretches of hallways going to another room that's kind of like stairs.
Much more in-depth,
I have a lot of dreams of that, and it's always, I'm totally by myself, and either something weird happens or like nothing happens, and I'm just get so uncomfortable that there's no sound, there's no people. But again, it's one of those dreams where it's like, I guess I'm playing the game, but I feel like I'm here in it, even though I'm seeing myself from third person sometimes. Again, it's weird abstract dream shit. But that's one I have a lot that I remember very vividly. I remember one I had a couple of years ago. Wow, this just came back to my head. I have a crazy good long-term memory. I have a terrible short-term memory, but I have good long-term memory. It'll just pop in. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm getting stuff popping. I remember I had one of those dreams. I was in that version of Peach's Castle, and I load into the main map, and Peach's model is just standing there completely still, and I walking around looking at her, nothing can happen. Then suddenly the whole thing filled with water, and I swam to the top of the castle because the top of the water was on top, and I jump out, and then her model's up there, and it was just kind of creepy.
I don't like that because like that reminds me of like some Ben Drown shit.
Yeah.
Like I hate that type of stuff. I can't handle it.
I remember having this one where I found a 3DS in one of the side rooms, and there was like, it was a big gray room with a red carpet, and then there was like a painting of something I couldn't make out, and it was a level, but that didn't matter. I was just in that room. It's like 2 gray walls there. You come in here. Man, I'm just like, my brain's doing my fucking bionicle brain physics shit right now.
Yeah.
I love it when my brain does this. And I fucking sit down, I'm playing like my old black 3DS, and I'm playing Ocarina of Time, and you can unlock like those 3D scenes. Like, remember Swap Puzzle, Street Pass, whatever it was called. You can unlock those scenes in Ocarina of Time 3D for some reason. And they were all like weirdly like pornographic, and it was like weird, like what the fuck is this in this? It was like tentacle porn and shit like that. And I was like really grossed out and disgusted by it. I'm like, why is this in Zelda? That's one I remember having like a long time ago. I don't know why that just came back to me, but that was one I woke up and I just felt really uncomfortable and weirded out, especially because it's in a setting that I already find kind of creepy, that I dream of frequently. Sometimes I've had normal dreams in those situations, or in those settings, but it's usually just kind of unsettling. Like, it's not like nightmares, but stressful or gross dreams often happen in that setting. Man, I was opening a can of worms that I forgot about. Thank you for that.
Something, though, I'm going to just finish this up.
Yeah.
Something I noticed recently was I watched Inception.
Ooh, yeah.
And my dreams have adapted the idea of everyone looking at you like you're an outsider, and I fucking hate that. Because when I'm having a dream and I'm just like trying to walk down somewheres and like there's people walking by, they're all looking at me, kind of like how like in a video game, if you were to walk up to someone, their attention immediately turns to you. Not even like that, it's just like a normal head turn, no blinking of the eyes, and then like once you keep walking and you walk past them, they just go back to their normal shit.
God, that's so creepy.
I hate it. I love that movie, but I hate that happening to me.
Every time I see other characters in my dreams, they just usually just walk by. I don't mind any attention to them unless it's someone I'm interacting with. I've never had that sensation. That sounds fucking awful.
I don't like when people stare at me. I was ready to fight someone at Starbucks because they kept looking at me wrong. I was like, man, I fucking if they're gonna look at me, say something.
Yeah.
Like
interact with me.
Like interact with me.
Yeah.
Like, are you looking at my mask? Are you looking at my hat? Are you looking at my shirt? What do you want? Stop looking at me. It's rude to stare.
I had a lucid dream within a dream before. I'm just remembering this in detail. So, I was having a lucid dream. And I was in the mall, and I was like, this is awesome. And lucid dreams are amazing because of how detailed they pick. I remember I walked into Shoppers Drug Mart, and I picked up like vitamins off the shelf, and I could read all of it.
Yeah.
Just because my brain it's so focused, it can just make up shit to put on there. And like I was walking around the mall looking for anything interesting to do, and it's lucid, I'm aware, but I couldn't really control it yet. But I was almost getting to that. I wanted to generate like a shooting gallery or laser tag or something, just to do something stupid and fun and wild. And I was struggling to make that happen. So I was just walking through the mall, like completely aware. Everything was so detailed. But then I would wake up and I'm walking in a dockyard and I almost fall off a ledge. I'm like, oh fuck. And this dream I'm not aware of. This dream I think is real.
Yeah.
This dream is like, oh fuck. And then I fall back asleep, back into the mall dream where I'm like, oh fuck, but I'm sleepwalking in real life on a dockyard, so I can't move too far in this lucid dream,
or I'm gonna fall.
And it was me going back between the I'm in a dream and I'm gonna fall off and I gotta get back to the middle.
It's like turning off and on a filter.
Yeah, and then me falling asleep, going back to sleepwalking, thinking the dockyard dream is real. It was a lucid dream within a dream that I thought was real.
Yeah.
It was one of the most interesting experiences I've had with a dream, and it really sucked because I wanted to do stuff with the lucid dream. Yeah. I remember desperately wanting to, like, you know, because you got to be there for a bit before I can start kind of taking control of it. But I was so preoccupied with being so careful of not making my sleepwalking real world, as I thought it was falling off a dock, that I couldn't walk or do anything interesting. And, yeah, that was one of the worst fucking lucid dreams I've ever had because I couldn't do anything because I fucking made up a fake reality that I had to worry about. Yeah, it was really
dreams
stupid.
Are cool, scary, and weird places.
Bizarre. Like, I love dreams. I want to review LSD Dream Emulator. Fuck it, I'll just do that next year. I should do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to wait till I have the means of making an extremely high quality review for that thing. It's like, what am I doing? I can do that now. I should review LSD Dream Emulators. I would love to talk about dreams. I want to talk about old hag syndrome. I've had old hag syndrome 3 times. If I could recreate my experiences for that video, because The Gray Man's based off of that. Fuck, I want to talk more about dreams. Thank you for that question, dude. I love dream shit, and I fucking... this just got me thinking about LSD Dream Emulator. I really should do that. I think I'll do that early next year.
Could you imagine if we started making, like, YouTube videos just on our dreams?
God, that'd be cool. Tim and Eric bedtime stories, kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, a lot of Granicore videos are based on Alex's dreams.
But, like, I mean, like, just, like, if we had, like, a big enough studio to flesh out, like, a world and do those things, like, we go to the mall. Yeah. And then next thing you know, you're on the dock, right?
Build, like, sets and stuff.
Yeah.
Make it look like we own them.
Damn it, that would be cool. Why does things have to cost money?
Someday, when I'm, like, 45, and I can finally afford a studio. I don't know.
I can't wait to be 45 and still dressing like this.
Yeah, no, literally. Ooh. God damn, that'll be the dream. When we're old, we should just do a weird sketch comedy series. Like Tim and Eric. Just, like, more serious about it. Fuck Nitro Rad. I want to do Granicore full time. That's what I want.
Yeah.
No, I love doing Nitro Rad too. I love just sharing information about things I find interesting.
I just like being a fucking goof.
Yeah. Yeah, we have one more question left. Galloping Sausage probably has been waiting for us to get to it. Now we got it. Galloping Sausage asks, don't know if you've talked about this before, but I'm curious. When did you guys first meet each other? I love telling the story.
When I hear it, I'm already like... not sure if you've already answered this, but I'm like, yes, we've answered this, but hey, I'm
fine.
more than fine. Because like I was answering questions on Twitter, and that was one of the questions. So, did you want to start it off, or?
So, I'll start it off. So, I was selling a copy of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on Kijiji. For those that don't know, Kijiji is basically the Canadian version of Craigslist. It's owned by eBay, so it's like the interface is a lot better, it's a lot cleaner and safer, and I used to use Kijiji a lot in high school to buy used games for cheap when I was getting into retro stuff, like buying more N64 games and Dreamcast stuff, you know, getting into that. And I was selling an extra copy of Peace Walker I had because I just bought my friend's PSP after mine broke, and he gave me Peace Walker with it. Didn't need Peace Walker, already had it, so I sold it on Kijiji for $15. And I get an email being like, hey, will you take 10 for it? And I'm like, okay, I can meet you here. We set up a time, and I'm like, all right, so I'll be a guy wearing a black hoodie and a green shirt or whatever, just so the kid buying this game from me knew who to look for. And I get an email back saying...
Okay, that's fine. I'll be pulling up into a car. I'll be wearing a hat with Bowser on it. If you don't know who Bowser is, he is the main bad guy from Super Mario Bros.
And I knew you were young, just trying to make sure I would know.
Yes, because
but it's so funny the idea this guy saw you Metal Gear.
Well, see, anyone I've ever interacted with in my school has always been one of those Call of Duty fuckers that is like, oh, Mario's for babies and stuff. So like that messed with me mentally, being like, well, no one's gonna know Mario because like. I'm weird. I'm a weird kid.
Yeah, other kids will make you feel weird no matter how fucking normal you are.
So that was my reasoning behind it. So my grandmother drives me there. I pull up and he's standing there with a friend. Were you by yourself?
No, I was by myself. Yeah, I was by myself.
So he's standing there. I walk on up. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I didn't have a job because I was too young.
You're like, what, 3 years younger than me?
How old are you right now?
I'm 26.
You're 26, I'm 24. So there's at least a 2-year difference.
2 and a bit.
Yeah. So I walk up because I'm just a kid. I don't have the means for money.
I think I was 17, so you would have been like 15?
Roughly, yeah.
I think I was high school. I think you were middle school.
I was just going into high school. Okay. So when I walked up, I have a bag of change, which I handed to him, and I was like, I hope this is okay.
Yeah, I remember you coming out of the car, you said, I hope this is okay, and you plop a bag of dimes, nickels, and like loonies, and there's like a couple loonies and toonies, but it was basically like...
It was just change.
It was $10 and just change.
But see, like, the way I got money for things was I would take all the cans and bottles back to the bottle depot, or I would do my chores and things like that, or I would keep whatever lunch money I had, and I would just eat something I had from home. Yeah. So, like, I was I was straggling by. And so I gave it to him, fast forward.
And I get this in my hands, and I'm just thinking, I can't say no to this kid. So I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And I was fucking pissed going home. So yeah, fast forward a couple of years.
Yeah, fast forward a couple of years. I'm dressed as Big Boss because I'm super into Metal Gear. I absolutely love it. I was playing Peace Walker, trying to complete it all over, and I bump into him, who is also dressed as Big Boss.
Big Boss, yeah.
And
here's a picture.
Yeah, we took a picture. Yeah. And we got to talking about some stuff, games we were playing.
Let's talk about Metal Gear because we were both dressed as Metal Gear. So we
yeah. And I brought up Peace Walker, and I was like, yeah, I just got Peace Walker, and I've been playing that for a while. Absolutely love it. I actually bought it off Kijiji by this guy, and I gave him a bag of change, which I felt super bad about.
And then I just go, that was me.
And I went, oh my god,
that was me. Sorry. We were in a different province to the convention, like away from home, couple hour drive. So it was like the chances of that happening.
Yeah, so like
between slim and none, and yet it happened.
It was whack.
Yeah. And then we would just see each other at cons.
Yeah, and every time you'd be like, Brady. Give me a big fucking hug. I'm like, hey man.
So for a couple of years, it was just I would just see you in passing until like it was when I was in college and I was doing film stuff, and we would just get you over because you liked acting and drama and stuff, and then you just kind of started being in our videos, and then we just became like best friends. Yeah.
And it was the rest is history. Yeah. We fucking love each other. Yeah. And
hell yeah, dude.
It's a good time.
It's like one of my favorite stories from my life. Yeah. Honestly, it's just how we met. Just how like. How did that even happen?
You hear about all these weird things happening, like with like other like people on the internet, and I'm like that would never happen to me. Yeah. And this shit happened to me.
You have a couple of your own.
Stories of your own, and it's one of my favorite tales. I still have that email because I'm a lazy piece of poop.
I never delete my emails either. I might still have yours.
So I actually searched up my Kijiji things just to see, because actually before I started dating Kai, I was gonna buy a copy of Dragon Ball Budokai off of him, but someone responded to me quicker, so I bought it from them. And he was like, you motherfucker, you didn't buy it from me? How dare you? And it's like, what kind of boyfriend are you? I was like, a smart one, because I get to keep it still. I was like, I got 2 copies.
Motherfucker. Absolute motherfucker.
Yeah. But, it's, those type of stories are fond and memorable, and God, do I love them. And thank you for letting us retell it, because, it's fun.
I was just checking Discord for extra questions, but everyone did put them there.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you guys for your questions. That was, I think it's a really good story to end the podcast off.
Yeah.
I never get tired of telling that story.
Moral of the story is, be there for your friends and don't give them $15 in change.
And hey, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about, like, value your experiences when you're alive, because that's what you're going to bring to the grave with you, and it's those fun stories you like telling and reminiscing that makes life so fucking wonderful for living. So there's my parting philosophies for today's podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great night, and I'll see you sometime soon.
Bowser!